Welcome to the Ruckman Heating and Cooling Tiger Pregame Show from Republic Tiger Sports. We'll look ahead at tonight's game, hear from Coach Wes Beechler, and get you ready for football Friday night. And now, here's the Ruckman Heating and Cooling Tiger Pregame Show. Well, welcome to Marshfield High School, where the Republic Tigers are getting set for their Week 2 football game against the Marshfield Blue Jays, and I'm joined by Rich Miles, statistician Tim Barnes, as we get set for a little Week 2 football. The Tigers, of course, won last week 22-7 against Sedalia Smith Cotton, and that was a good start to the season, Rich Miles.
Yes, it was, and most coaches always talk about how you see the biggest improvement in a season from Week 1 to Week 2, so hopefully we get to see that this evening.
Things did not go so well for Marshfield in their Week 1 game. They played Ava, which is a very good team, running a flexbone offense, and that flexbone ate them up. They gave up 58 points to Ava last week in a 58-20 loss. So they need a big improvement in Week 2 if they're going to be competitive against Republic tonight. That was a very good Ava team, but Marshfield had real trouble stopping that run attack, and this is a different kind of run attack, but we'll see how they handle it tonight. We want to pause now. We're going to play the national anthem, and we'll let you listen in on that as the Marshfield band takes the field to play our national anthem. The Marshfield Marching Band plays the national anthem. We talked a little bit about the Tigers' win last week over Sedalia Smith Cotton. Sat down with Coach Wes Beechler this week and talked to him about what he saw that he liked, didn't like from that game, and also talked a little bit about what he saw as he looked at film from Marshfield's loss against Ava. We want to listen to him talk about, these were his thoughts on the Marshfield offense.
Quarterback is a very good football player. They do a lot of power read, a lot of zone read type of plays, and he runs the ball, hits the line of scrimmage quick when he pulls and keeps it. He also throws a nice ball, has a pretty good, throws in good rhythm on the short stuff, the outs and the quick passes, and has pretty decent touch on level, I call level 2 throws, kind of down the field a little bit. So he's a nice player. They got a few good linemen up front that do a nice job of creating seams, and he's pretty deceptive with the ball, going back to the quarterback again. So they'll have some challenges. They'll have a lot of formations. Like you said, they spread out a little bit more. Running back can be dangerous. He's probably not as good as the one we saw last week at Smith Cotton, the explosive back they had back there, but solid running back. And so there's a lot of things that we need to be prepared for, and they'll show us a lot. They spread out a lot. I believe they faked all their punts but one last Friday, so you're going to see a lot of different formations in fourth down. We're going to be prepared to cover those and play intelligently, and so it's going to be an interesting challenge for us. It'll be a little bit different than what we saw last week, but it's different every week, so that's good for us.
Talking about that offense being a lot different from what Republic saw against Sedalia Smith Cotton last week, what kind of a challenge as a coaching staff is that, Rich, to take a defense that prepares one week? You're always changing, obviously, to kind of adjust to the different things, the wrinkles that different offenses are going to throw at you. To go from one week to the next week, what kinds of things does the coaching staff talk about to its team preparing for that?
Well, first of all, they watch so much film and it's all online now. So the players are able to watch that on a tablet, a phone, at home. They can even sit down with parents. But there is so much film preparation that goes on Saturday, Sunday, and then, of course, on Monday and Tuesday. So unless it's just totally drastically different, there isn't that big of a challenge. It's just one of those where you just kind of tell the guys, okay, great, we got to win on Friday, but, Saturday, we're preparing for the next team.
During that conversation with Wes Beechler, we talked, too, about the Marshfield defense. Here's what he had to say about them.
They do a lot of stemming up front, or they did last week, which just means that, he'll line up in a 4-tech over our tackle, then right before the snap, he'll try to slide down to the guard, try to confuse our blocking. We've worked on that all week. Again, I'll go back to Brian Colby, and his sophomore has picked up the stemming really well this week in practice. Our scout team gave us good looks, and we're good enough up front right now that I think that when somebody stems on us, we usually can adjust on the fly and make the changes necessary. And, for those that don't really know, we rule block most of our plays up front, and that just means that depending on the play and where defense is lined up, we have guys make live calls and guys make dummy calls or dead calls. And when a team stems on you, it throws those calls off. We worked all week on making the calls and having the defense stem and our offensive line still come off and block the right guys. So they've picked that up pretty well. You'll see some fast flow linebackers. Some guys like to get upfield off the edge from their defensive ends. Secondary got burned a couple times against Ava. Ava's a heavy run team, flex bone team, and so we'll have to see if we can't keep them from getting up on the line of scrimmage a little bit more. Their D-backs, and should be a challenge for us. I mean, they're going to be ready to play. And like I said, any team that runs the ball as hard as they do is challenging. We'll have to get our blocks and maintain our blocks and play from snap to whistle.
So, again, a different set of challenges this week from last week. He talked about the linebackers really trying to get upfield, trying to penetrate into the backfield. What offensively can you do when a team is so set on just getting upfield, playing downhill? Are there some things you can do to kind of counteract that?
Oh, there's some plays you can do. Come to mind, you can do a short little dump pass over those defensive linemen or linebackers that are flying up. Some teams like to do like a throwback screen or some type of screen where you purposely allow the defensive linemen or linebackers to rush upfield. But, just different things like that. Sometimes a draw play works really well against a team that's really smoking defensive ends or an offensive linebacker off the edge.
What did you like as far as offensively for the Tigers last week? There was a lot to like, obviously, and Journey Jones had a big game. But just in general, what were your impressions as you've had a week to think about it, looking back at what the Tigers' offense was able to do against Smith Cotton?
There's a couple things. The Tigers' offensive line was able to sustain their blocks, which was always good, and the fact that we mentioned it a few times, probably more than a few times during the game, that whoever had the ball wasn't stopping on first contact. It was spinning. Yep. It was trying to make a move. It was, driving the feet. It was literally we're not going to stop for anything.
Yep. I thought defensively, too, that Tigers played really well, did a nice job of shutting down the running game first and foremost, and that's really where it usually starts. If you can shut down the run, you're in for a good night defensively.
Yes. Yes, because if you shut down the run, then a team becomes one-dimensional. They've got to pass, and when you make a team pass, you're looking at interceptions, you're looking at drop balls. It's in our favor.
Tigers did have a couple of interceptions last week. Defensive secondary came up. Blake Fanning had one, and of course Jake Smith had one. Jake Smith came on a fourth down play for Smith Cotton, and I made the comment, well, he could have let it drop. He just pinned the Tigers deep in their own territory, but then he made me look bad. He just ran for 94 yards on two plays later and took care of that. So I guess if you're going to run at 94 yards, it's okay to go ahead and take the interception, and it works out. So we'll see what happens as the Tigers take on Marshfield. Marshfield's starting lineup is being introduced right now, running onto the field, the crowd on its feet. Really not a huge crowd here in Marshfield for an early season game. Maybe the weather looks like it could possibly rain a little bit later tonight, so that may be cutting down on the crowd just a little bit, but not a huge crowd and not as loud and boisterous a crowd as we saw in Republic last week. I think people are hyped to see this Tiger team and to see what it can do under second-year head coach Wes Beachler. We'll be back with the play-by-play and the starting lineups here after this break.
Jared Thomas and a senior, number 63, Alex Walker, Nick Caduti, and the rest of your Marshfield Blue Jays.
Don't let another scorching day pass without replacing the old air conditioner that's robbing you of your hard-earned money. Call Ruckman Heating and Cooling and replace it with a high-efficiency model. Get no-interest 3-year financing if you act before October 31st. That's Ruckman Heating and Cooling.
Republic Tiger Sports and Cox Health Sports Medicine present Republic Tigers Football. Also brought to you by Vision Health Eye Center, outstanding eye care, exceptional eyewear. Mid-Missouri Bank, home of the no-wait debit card. State Farm Agent Chris Yoakum, get to a better state. Bears Sports Grill, it's where you go when you're hungry for a burger. Yoakum Automotive, a full-service repair facility in Republic since 1986. Carla Stotts at Destinations to Explore, making your dreams come true through the world of travel. Preston Family Dental, let us lead you down the path to a healthy smile. Kirk's Collision Center, if you can wreck it, we can fix it. Absolute Roofing, the best roofer in the business, absolutely. Heaven Sent Flowers and Gifts, the freshest flowers and free delivery. Charisma Salon, be the envy of all your friends. Matt Suti at USA Mortgage, go see him online at goseesuti.com. Eddie Barbecue Company, home of Republic's best pulled pork and a big nasty sandwich. Southern Sun Electric, when you need it done right the first time, call Southern Sun. Ruckman Heating and Cooling, is there a thief in your backyard? And by Hine Street Pharmacy, your locally owned neighborhood pharmacy. And now it's time for Republic Tigers football. Well, welcome back to Marshfield. The Tigers taking the field before the game here at Marshfield's football stadium just down the road from Marshfield High School. We are about 5 minutes away from kickoff, and we want to give you the starting lineups. We will start offensively with the Republic Tigers, and they will have up front one tight end, Jared Jensen, a 6'1 senior, and at the other tight end, Garrett Gordon, a 6-foot senior. On the line, Josh Ladd, a 6'4 senior, is at left tackle. Right beside him, the left guard, Levi Cook, a 5'11 senior and a 4-year starter, kind of an anchor of the line. Another anchor of the line is over at right tackle. That's number 77, Skylar Hale, a 6'7 junior, and Brian Cole, a sophomore, a rare sophomore to start on the offensive line for Wes Beachler. As he says, he's not always necessarily comfortable starting a young player on his offensive line. There's so much going on up there, but Brian Cole earned the spot, and that 6'1 sophomore is there at right guard for the Tigers. At fullback, back in the lineup after missing last week with an injury, is Zach Dickens, a 6-foot junior. He's really slated to take most of the snaps at fullback for the Tigers. Of course, it was Zach Jester last week in at fullback, did a nice job, but Dickens back in there at fullback tonight. The quarterback is Jake Smith, number 19, a 6-foot senior. The tailback, Journey Jones, a 5'9 junior, coming off a week in which he had more than 160 rushing yards, and there were several plays in which he just seemed to be carrying about half the Sedalia Smith Cotton defense down the field as he ran. And the wingback is Jace Duvall, a 5'9 senior. Blake Fanning could see some time at quarterback. He's the backup quarterback, a 6'2 senior. David File will see some time in the backfield. And kicking for the Tigers will be Mitchell Heinsler. For Marshfield, their defense on the defensive line, number 50, a 5'5", 182-pound junior, Max Robinson. Another defensive lineman, Alex Walker, number 63, a 6', 200-pound senior. And Jackson Pulley at 5'10", 185 pounds. He's a junior at the other defensive line spot. Defensive ends are Caleb Hicks, a 5'11", 175-pound junior, and Ryan Rust, a 5'8 senior at 150 pounds. Linebackers, Thad Bowles, a 5'9", 175-pound senior, and number 44, Eli Hungerford, a 5'8 senior at 200 pounds. Defensive backs, Jackson Jones, a 5'10", 135-pound junior. Caleb Jeter, a 5'10", 175-pound senior. Chris Crottinger, a 5'6", 150-pound sophomore, and Aaron Livingston, a 6'2" senior at 205 pounds. So those are the starting lineups offensively for the Tigers, and defensively for Marshfield. A coin flip going on now, and we'll see who wins this as the captains are at midfield. For Marshfield's offense, they are led by quarterback Jordan Dean. He's a 6'4", 185-pound junior. He had 3 touchdowns last week, 2 of them on the ground and 1 of them passing. He was only 6 of 18 passing last week, had 76 yards rushing, but he's really the guy that runs the offense. And you look at his build, and he's the kind of quarterback who you would expect to be able to drop back in the pocket and pass it. I'm kind of the pro-type body at 6'4", 185, isn't he?
Yes, he is. And, you know, it's always a plus when you've got a tall quarterback because he can look over his offensive line compared to a shorter one that maybe has to kind of flare out a little bit to see over his own offensive line.
On that offensive line, they're not real tall up front, but on the offensive line, left tackle is Ben Knoll, a 6'3", 250-pound senior. The left guard, Evan Dockstader, a 5'10", 255-pound junior. The center is Alex Walker, a 6', 200-pound senior. The right guard is Chance Totten. He's a 5'10" sophomore at 225. And the right tackle is Devin Myers, number 56. He's 295 pounds and 5'10", and he is a junior. Looks like Marshfield won the toss.
Won the toss, and they're going to defer.
So same result as the coin flip last time. Republic loses the toss. We'll get the ball, and here comes the sun. So it's been cloudy, overcast for most of the afternoon here, and all the way up it was kind of sprinkling on us. Get here, and the sun comes out just in time for kickoff.
Yes, and there's a big difference in the, you know, compared to last week when game time was in the 90s. Now it's upper 70s, maybe low 80s with the breeze. The sun's not in our face.
Right, yeah, it's even better for us because the press box faces the sunset in Republic, and we're facing away from the sunset here, so it's got to be 40 degrees cooler in here than it was. They also have a nice new air conditioning unit right here in our little private box, so that's even better.
Yes, it is. It currently says it's 69, and it sure feels like it.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. All right, so the team's just about ready to go. We didn't get through with the offense. Gave you the offensive line, gave you the quarterback, did not give you the running back. In week 1, the running back was Danny Novakovic, number 20, a 6', 160-pound sophomore. So a younger player at tailback for Marshfield. And they will sometimes have 4 wide receivers out. And Wyatt Mitchell will get some time out there. Wyatt Finley, a 6'2 junior. Tyler Park, a 5'3 freshman. And Aaron Livingston all will get some time at receiver. And Tanner Guerin will sometimes line up as a slot back for the Blue Jays. Here we go. Teams on the field, ready for kickoff. Week 2 as the Tigers try to move to 2-0. Kick is up, high, end over end, and it is received on the far side. Going upfield and out to about the 25-yard line. And I didn't get a number on who that was. I believe it was David File who took the reception.
Yes, it was.
Didn't have my binoculars out fast enough. So the Tigers will take over right about at the 25-yard line to start things off.
First down for the Tigers from their own 25-yard line.
Jake Smith looking to the sideline to get that first play from the sideline before he goes to the huddle. Tigers will be on the far hash mark to start things off. Nice leisurely start to the game. They got out there. They didn't have the play, didn't have the ball ready, and now we're ready to go. They walk up to the line. Shane Piles at center takes the ball, ready for the snap, and Jake Smith barks out the signal. Takes it, hands it off to Journey Jones, carries it on across the 30-yard line, picks his way between defenders, gets about 7, maybe 8, and it'll bring second down and short for the Tigers.
That was a good push by Republic's offensive line. There was no penetration. Running back was able to kind of pick and choose where he wanted to go. Got himself some good yardage on the very first play.
And I would expect that Republic would have a good time on the line of scrimmage offensively. It looked like that was a problem area for Marshfield last week. 2nd and 3 coming up for the Tigers. They give it off inside again. And that time it was taken by David File.
That time they brought some pressure. They brought a outside linebacker off the edge, and they also brought a middle linebacker. Smoked him up off the A gap.
Still gained a couple of yards. 3rd and a long 1 for the Tigers. Out of the shotgun, Jake Smith. Preston Ellison in there at the end. He hands it off to Journey Jones, loses the football. It's on the ground. A scramble for it. Marshfield says they have it. Still haven't seen a signal from the officials. And they're talking it over, and yeah, they're going to give it to Marshfield. I didn't see who jumped on it, but Marshfield got in there as the ball got away from Journey Jones, and a key turnover to start things off as the Blue Jays will have it on the Tigers' 37-yard line.
That's something as a defensive coach you try to tell your tacklers that put a head on that football and it'll pop out, and that's exactly what happened. Marshfield helmet hit square in the nose of the football and just squirted right out.
So Jordan Dean, the quarterback, will come out and lead the Marshfield Blue Jays for the first time. Dean out of the shotgun. Takes the ball, hands it off to the tailback. That's Novakovic, and Novakovic drives into the middle, picks up maybe 2 yards at the most.
Yeah, that right there is a little zone read. Quarterbacks reading, what the defensive ends are doing.
And they did a lot of that last week. That's essentially what they ran against Ava in week 1. Out of the shotgun again. Going in motion as a runner. They hand it off to the motion man, and he's hit in the backfield and dropped. That was, I believe, well, I don't know who it was who got that hit.
I missed it too, David.
I believe it's Jack Hayes.
He's
not on the roster as 35
right.
Is what confused me. So Jack Hayes got into the backfield and made the hit and hit Marshfield for a loss.
Well, the play was doomed from the beginning because they brought a guy in motion. He ended up running right into the running back. So
3rd and 10 for Marshfield. Fake handoff. They throw over the middle. And the pass is complete to Wyatt Mitchell over the middle. He's out near the first down marker. Just a little slant pass.
And having a tall quarterback that Marshfield has, that kind of benefits hitting those pass routes right over the middle.
And that is close to the first down marker, but it's 4th down and less than a yard for Marshfield. They're going to go for it. Try to draw Republic offside. They couldn't do it. I think that was a hard count. Now he turns around, looks at the coaching staff. Dean barking out the signal now. Takes the snap. He's going to keep it. And he's hit, but pushes it down inside the 25-yard line. Now he's pushed back, but I think he's going to get enough for a first down. Up off the bottom of the pile is Blake Fanning, defensively for the Tigers.
First down for the Blue Jays.
Part of that was same thing we're talking about. Jones, Marshfield quarterback Dean, contact right there, got stonewalled, but he kept driving his feet and was able to just get enough for that first down.
So Marshfield has it at the 24, and a first down as they look to draw first blood here tonight. Dean has it from the shotgun and hands it off to the tailback. He goes left side and is hit after a gain of 1, maybe 2. That was Novakovic who took the handoff. Call it a gain of 2. That's going to bring 2nd down and 8. Zach Jester with the hit and the tackle for the Tigers.
Zach Jester's one of those players that he's just everywhere. He's probably in the vicinity of wherever the football is going to be.
Dean from the shotgun again. Novakovic next to him. And he keeps it, fakes the handoff, wrapped up, and then breaks loose and gets down near the 15-yard line, near a first down. The Tiger got a hand on him near the line of scrimmage, but he broke free, and I think it was Fanning who eventually took him down.
Marshall ran the zone read very well that time. Our linebackers thought that the tailback coming out of the backfield had the football. Quarterback kept it.
Tyler Park is in there at tailback now for Marshfield. So Park is next to Dean in the shotgun. Lining up in the slot is Tanner Guerin for the Blue Jays. Handoff inside, a gain of 1 or 2 for Tyler Park. Well, I don't know if he did get 2.
Barely. Linebackers are there. Filled their gaps, exactly what they're supposed to be doing.
That's going to bring up 4th down and short again for Marshfield, less than a yard. They're on the 15-yard line. Need to get almost to the 14. I don't think they even need to get to the 14 to pick up the 1st down.
Must be some special play they're calling because Dean's all the way on the sidelines talking to the coaches.
He ran off. The play clock is not running, but I don't think they called the timeout because the rest of the team stayed out there. In the huddle. And now they break and go to the line of scrimmage. Tiger defense needs a stop here. 4th down and less than 1 for Marshfield on their opening drive of the game. Under center now, and now jumping offside on the right side of the line. That's big. Is number 56, Devin Myers. Offensive lineman just went too soon.
That's an offensive lineman that, probably had something special to do on that particular play, and he just got a little jacked up before the ball was snapped.
So now instead of 4th and less than 1, it's about 4th and 6 for Marshfield, and that'll change things. They're going to go out of the shotgun back to their traditional formation now. Tyler Park at the tailback position. Dean shakes his head, calls the signal. 4th down. Fake handoff. He's going to put it up down the sideline. And over on the sideline, caught by Wyatt Mitchell, who just ran up the left side. He was hit and dropped. A hard hit over there by Kyle Powell.
Yeah, he's limping. He may have caught the pass, but he got drilled.
But that brings up 1st and goal for Marshfield on about the 4-yard line.
1st and goal for the Blue Jays.
They'll try to punch it in here. Handoff goes to Park around the right side, wide open, and he goes right into the end zone. Touchdown, Marshfield. Park took it. Marshfield had sealed off the right side, and he had a lot of open area to run there.
Yeah, the Marshfield's tackle on that side was able to easily hook our defensive end there, and as you heard, almost walked right into the end zone.
So Marshfield up 6-0 and look like they may go for 2 here. They line up in the shotgun again as they go for the 2-point conversion. Send a man in motion. They hand it off to the man in motion going left side. He gets around the end, tucks it inside the corner, and the 2-point conversion is good as Aaron Livingston takes it into the end zone. And Marshfield is up 8-0 with 5:43 left to go here in the 1st quarter. Not a good start for the Tigers, but they'll try to turn things around when we return right after this.
Hi, I'm Gabe Fleer, Cox Health Athletic Trainer for your Republic Tigers. Did you know that Cox Health leads the way in sports medicine for young athletes? Our Athletic Advantage program can improve your game, whatever your age, whatever your sport. And now treatment for injuries is faster than ever with our new sports medicine walk-in clinic open daily 3 to 5:30, located in the Bone and Joint Center on South National. Call 269-7788 or visit coxhealth.com. Go Tigers.
Whether you have a big hole in your roof or you're missing a single shingle, you know who to call in Republic. It's Mike Mansker and the team at Absolute Roofing. Give them a call at 869-0444 or go online to absoluteroofers.com.
Kick is in the air and received by Tristan Ellison, back deep for Republic. He takes it out across the 25 near the 30 before he's dropped. And the Tigers will take over trailing 8-0 with 5:39 left to go in the 1st quarter. They'll have it at the 30-yard line as they try to answer that short drive to start things off by Marshfield.
First and 10 for the Tigers from their own 30-yard line.
Up to the line of scrimmage. Out of the shotgun is Jake Smith. Takes the handoff and gives it to Ellison, who's dropped in the backfield. Getting back with penetration in the backfield was Marshfield's McKay, or rather Livingston. And he collared Tristan Ellison back there, and that's a loss of 5 yards.
Yeah, he was on a blitz there. He came flying up right on the defensive line, and there was just simply no one there to pick him up. He was almost untouched to the running back.
So 2nd and 15 for the Tigers. Not a good start for Republic. Jake Smith takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looks to throw. Throws it down the middle of the field. Wide open down the middle of the field is the tight end. That's Garrett Gordon, who takes it across midfield down to the 40.
Yeah, that kind of we were talking about earlier. We were talking about what do you do with a defense that likes to blitz and bring a lot of linebackers. That right there, you just do a little tight end dump. Linebackers are gone. Tight end just replaces where the linebackers were at, wide open.
So 1st and 10 from the Marshfield 40-yard line as the Tigers march into Marshfield territory for the first time tonight. Zach Dickens at fullback. Jake Smith takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Ellison. Now he follows Ellison, tucks it inside, down near the 35-yard line, a gain of about 5 for Jake Smith.
Right now, Coach Beechler is making adjustments to Livingston, number 29. He's the linebacker that keeps coming up off the edge there, showing blitz.
So 2nd and 5 for Republic as they are moving the ball here on their second drive, trailing 8-0. 4:14 left to go here in the first quarter. Smith hands it off to Journey Jones. May have been face masked, but he cuts free anyway down across the first down marker inside the 30-yard line near the 25. I don't see a flag. I thought a defender got his face mask as he had first taken off.
And once again, that was 29 for Marshfield. That's just almost every defensive play, he's coming up showing blitz. So looks like the coaching staff is starting to make the adjustments to take him out of the equation.
Ellison is going to check out, and checking in for the Tigers is Zach Brandstetter.
First down for the Tigers at the Jays, 26-yard line.
So from the 26, the Tigers have it 1st and 10. Handoff inside to Jones, runs into a couple of defenders, and he's going to get hit short of the line of scrimmage. Taking part in the tackle there was number 32, Caleb Hicks.
On that play, it just looked like the defensive lineman of Marshfield just made a pile. That's all they did, and there was just no place to go. Sometimes when a team's able to move on you a little bit, you make a call, and the defensive lineman just take a knee, and they just make a giant pile right there, and the running back has to bow it outside, and there's nothing there.
So a loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 for the Tigers. Man goes in motion, and Smith follows him down the right side, tucks it inside, cuts back down inside the 20 to the 17-yard line for Jake Smith. Nifty run there as Smith took it right, saw an opening, and cut it back inside.
We saw that particular play a few times last week and had a lot of success with it.
Going to bring up 3rd and about 3 for the Tigers at the 18-yard line. This is 2-down territory for the Tigers. 2.5 minutes left to go, trailing 8-0 at Marshfield. Walking slowly up to the line is Republic. Smith takes the snap, hands it off, and spinning inside and out inside the first down marker is David File. He's going to be down near the 10-yard line. File took the handoff and just hit the hole.
That play, you give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They pushed the defensive line back into the linebackers. Giant hole. I could have done that. I could have made that.
I could not have. I'm not gonna make any claims. So 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the 10-yard line. From the shotgun, fake handoff. Smith comes right side, eludes a tackler down near the 5-yard line, inside the 5. And it's going to be second down. And I think it's second down and goal. They don't have the yard marker up there, so they cannot get a first down. It was first and 10, but it was first and goal. They were just inside the 10 when they started this series. Now it's going to be second down and goal from about the 5.
Jake does such a good job of eluding that first defensive individual that comes up. It always looks like he's about to get tackled, makes a little move, makes that person look a little silly, and he gets a few more yards out of it.
That's what Wes Beechler always tells his running backs is one of their jobs is just to make one person miss. Handoff to Tristan Ellison, who takes it around inside, and he's going to be inside the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. Ellison took the handoff, swept to the left, and got around the end and got it in.
The previous plays before that was hitting the right side, right side, and then changed it up, went to the left. No one was there. Great play.
And the Tigers will not go for 2. They're going to kick the extra point here. Trailing 8-6. Mitchell Heinzler will try to make it an 8-7 game. 1:05 left to go here in the first quarter. Snap is a little bit high, brought down. The kick is up and right down the middle. And it's good. So the Tigers answer the Marshfield touchdown and get right back into it. 8-7 the score, 1:05 left to go here in the first quarter. Back with more after this.
At Bears Sports Grill, they guarantee you will never leave hungry. 50 different burgers, 21 different wing sauces, and much more. When you're hungry for a burger before or after the game, or just any time, Bears is the place to go in Republic. Travel agent Carla Stotts at Destinations to Explore can make your dreams come true through the world of travel. She has expertise for all travel, so let her book your next family vacation. Call her at 848-8369 or click the link to her Facebook page on my website and browse while you're listening for more information. Eddie Barbecue Company is home to great barbecue, including the famous Pig Nasty Sandwich. Go in and check them out. Remember that kids eat free now on Monday and Tuesday evening from 5 to 8 p.m. That's Hetty Barbecue Company in Republic.
Back deep for the Blue Jays. 20 is Danny Dvokovich. And 29, Aaron Livingston.
A 9-play drive took just over 4.5 minutes as the Tigers marched 70 yards and scored a touchdown, made the score 8-7. They still trail Marshfield by a point, and they kick it off to the Blue Jays. And the kick is down inside the 5. Nice kickoff by Heinzler. Taken by Marshfield out near the 20-yard line, or rather, out near the 20. And Livingston takes the kickoff return, too. Livingston's got to be getting tired. He's making all the tackles, blitzing on every play, and now he takes the kickoff. They're going to put the ball at the 19-yard line to start this drive for Marshfield.
Blue Jay football, 1st and 10 from their own 19-yard line.
So Dean will try to lead Marshfield down the field. They had a short field last time. It was a short drive. And they'll see if they can do the same thing with a little more distance to go before they can get to the end zone. 2 receivers split out wide to the near side. The rest of the team still in the huddle. Now they back it out. 1 receiver to the right. Out of the shotgun. Handoff and hit in the backfield. Back there, and the ball, well, the Tigers acted like the ball was loose briefly, but instead called down. Back in the backfield making the hit was Bradley Wright, who got in there and hit Park for a loss.
Our defense read that perfectly. And as soon as the ball was snapped, it was like they knew exactly what the play was. We had several individuals right there that could have made the tackle also.
They're going to say he almost got back to the line of scrimmage, so we'll call it 2nd down and 10 coming up for Marshfield. And a handoff, and Blake Fanning with a hit as a handoff went to Park. Fanning came off his block and wrapped up the running back. Still a gain of about 6 yards, maybe 5 for Marshfield. Brings up a key 3rd down. They're going to say it's a gain of 6. The official tends to grab the ball and hold on to it before he spots it. And that's going to bring up the end of the first quarter. So we've played one quarter here at Marshfield, and the Blue Jays have the lead, 8-7. We'll be back with more after this.
Any day's a great day to send flowers. Heaven's Scent Flowers and Gifts has been your local florist in Republic since 1987, offering free local delivery. Call them at 732-1334 or go online to heavensscentflowers.com. Did you know Hines Street Pharmacy will deliver your prescriptions right to your door? Or that they can often save you money compared to what you're paying at big box pharmacies? Both those things are true and more. Go to Hines Street Pharmacy and experience the hometown difference. Charisma Salon, haircuts, hair color, manicures, and more. A great salon, great stylists. At 484 U.S. Highway 60 East, just west of Elm Street. Call for an appointment today at 689-9173. No matter what you drive, next time you have a fender bender, call Kirk's Collision Center. Kyle and his team are the people to fix you up in Republic. Find them online at kirkscollisioncenter.com. Kirk's Collision Center. If you can wreck it, they can fix it.
Run a half marathon.
Stop smoking.
Feel young again.
Whether you're dealing with an ongoing health challenge or simply want to feel your best, Cox Health is on your side. We offer classes to help you manage diabetes, fibromyalgia, chronic pain, whatever you need, we have resources to help.
I rode 180 miles.
I lost 180 pounds.
Because I can.
And you can too. Call Cox Health at 269-4847.
All right, we return to action for the start of the second quarter. Tigers trailing Marshfield 8-7. Marshfield with the ball, facing a big 3rd and 4 from their own 26-yard line. Dean takes the snap, fakes it. He's going to throw downfield. Almost picked off, tipped, and caught by Marshfield's Aaron Livingston. And he's going to get the first down. So the defense read it.
Right.
And a tough break.
Unlike last week, the tip was in our favor and we were able to intercept it. This time, it tipped right into Marshfield's hands. And once again, I mentioned it last week. That's why over and over again they do tip drills for that particular instance right there.
Boy, if Fanning picks that off, he's got 6 points.
Yes.
Instead, it's a first down Marshfield from about the 39-yard line. They hand it off. Going left side through a big hole out across the first down marker is Danny Novakovic. Novakovic had a lot of room to run as he took the handoff.
Yeah, that zone read again, and once again, quarterback read it well, gave it to the tailback. Tailback was able to go off the left side there, and our linebackers were already gone.
So a first down for Marshfield as they move into Republic territory. They've got it on the Republic 48-yard line. Another handoff, this one to Park. Park is wrapped up as he crosses the line of scrimmage. May get a gain of a yard, but in there for the Tiger defense was Bradley Wright. Blake Fanning was in there as well.
Marshfield had success in the previous play. Hey, let's run it again, and they did. That time, everybody on defense, read it the way it was supposed to, did their job, only got a yard.
So call it 2nd down and 9 for the Blue Jays. Out of the shotgun again. They hand it off to Park. Park is hit, runs into his own man. Good penetration by the D-line there by Republic as there was no place to run. Coming up off the bottom of the pile is Zach Jester.
Yeah, read it again, great. Linebackers are flying around. Looks like they're starting to settle down a little bit, understand what's going on in the backfield, pulling the trigger once they see who's got the ball.
Marshfield's moved the ball on this series, but it's really been a pretty good series. Defensively, I thought the Tigers have looked a lot better this time than they did the first time Marshfield had the ball.
Yes.
You take away that tip, it's a quick 3 and out.
Right. And, give the credit to the coaching staff also. When the defense is over there on the sideline, Coach Epps is making adjustments, talking to the individuals that need the adjustment.
Marshfield wants to talk things over with a 3rd and 9 coming up. 9:52 left here in the second quarter. Marshfield leads Republic 8-7. We're back with more after this.
State Farm Insurance is there anytime, anywhere you need it, with helpful advice and award-winning service. In Republic, call Chris Yoakum at 732-1463 or go online at chrisyoakum.com and get to a better state. Matsuti brings you the Home Team Report, a schedule of every Tiger home game in every sport in Republic Tiger Sports Magazine. And now you can add him to your home team when you have questions about your mortgage. Find him online at goseesuti.com. Mid-Missouri Bank is home to a no-wait debit card. Walk in, open a checking account, and walk out with your new card at Mid-Missouri Bank at the corner of Hines and Highway 60 in Republic. Preston Family Dental will lead you down the path to a healthy smile. They offer general dentistry for all ages, plus tooth whitening, 6-month smile orthodontics, and more. That's Preston Family Dental online at PrestonDentalTeam.com.
Back to action here in the second quarter. 9:52 left to go in the second. Marshfield with a big third down coming up. Out of the shotgun, they look to throw. They throw it over on the left flat. It's caught, but not much of a gain after the catch. And taking the reception was Livingston, who is pretty much part of every play.
Yes,
for
seems
Marshfield.
Like you were saying his name just about every other play on both sides of the ball.
Brings up a 4th and 8. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean it's a punting situation. As Wes Beechler said during the week, they faked on all but one of their punts last week. So I don't know if that's a matter of not having a punter or just being extra confident in their ability to fake. We'll see what they do here. They bounce the snap, and they do kick it away. High wobbling kick lands about the 20, takes a Marshfield bounce down near the 10-yard line. Now it's going to stop on the 12, and the Tigers are going to take over deep in their own territory on the 12-yard line. 9 minutes exactly left to go here in the second quarter, and the Tigers will try to move the ball down just like they did last time and score another touchdown.
That punting unit from Marshfield, things, I don't know if they practice it a lot. Surely they do, but they look confused. And the last guy to come out was actually the punter, and he sprinted out there like he wasn't quite sure that Marshfield was actually punting. So,
well, maybe after last week, maybe they faked all their punts. He was surprised that they were actually going to use them.
I don't know, but usually when you get close to punting, the punter is the first one to realize that you're punting.
Yeah, and he's anxious to get out there, too. Smith takes the handoff, goes right side behind a couple of blockers. He cuts inside, and he's past the defense. Out to the 35, to the 40, across midfield. One man might get him. He cuts back and is dragged down inside the 45-yard line by Brady Coble, who finally caught up to him and had an angle.
That looked almost like a carbon copy of last week, with Smith keeping the ball, running behind some blockers, and once he gets past that decent defensive line and he kind of squirts out, he's gone.
55-yard gain by Jake Smith to start things off, and so much for starting deep in their own territory. The only difference between this and last week was that everybody on the defense didn't bite this week. There was somebody back to catch him. Last week, he was past everybody by the time he was 15 yards past the line of scrimmage. Handoff goes to Journey Jones through a big hole in the middle of the line, inside the 30-yard line, down to about the 27.
I sure like how he runs his feet.
Yep.
That Marshfield tackler came up. Jones just kept running his feet. He fell forward to gain a couple yards instead of the tackler taking him back.
They're going to say he was down at the 28. That brings up a 2nd and 5 for the Tigers, who have looked good on offense, other than the turnover on their very first possession. Smith in the shotgun. Bad handoff, and falling on it is Tristan Ellison. Ellison tried to come around and take the handoff and just dropped it.
And that is something that every football team practices over and over and over again, is that handoff.
Yep.
If there is not good communication, I mean, if you've watched football, there's got to be communication between the quarterback and the tailback, or whoever's getting the football. One guy lets go too early, something like that, ball's on the ground.
So from 2nd and 5 now, it's 3rd and about 12 for the Tigers. Ellison in the slot, out of the shotgun. Fake handoff to Jones. Rolling right is Smith, and he gets the pass off, and it is caught, I believe, out there by Garrett Gordon. Gordon, between a couple of defenders, came down with it near the first down marker. They're going to spot the ball at the 25-yard line. It's going to bring up fourth down and a long one for the Tigers.
He threaded that football in there. Like you said, there was 2 defenders on each side of Garrett, and Jake was able to thread it right in there.
It was hard to see that it was Gordon that took the reception because he had so many defenders draped on him when he caught it. So a big fourth down coming up for the Tigers. Handed off to Jones. He's got a big opening inside the 20-yard line down to the 15, still moving his feet down near the 10-yard line. Journey Jones with a big gain on fourth down, and the Tigers are knocking on the door again in the red zone.
And when Jones keeps running his feet like we've repeated several times, the other individuals, they feed off of that.
Yep.
When you see one of your guys giving everything that he can give on every play, other individuals see that and say, hey, I want to do that too.
So first down and 10 from the 12-yard line now for the Tigers. Smith hands it off to Ellison, gets around a man, goes inside the 5, touchdown, Tristan Ellison.
Untouched. Offensive line made a huge hole for him.
Ellison took the exchange that time and just ran through that big hole, and the Tigers break on top 13-8. 6:35 left to go here in the second quarter, and the Tigers will try to make it 14-8 as Mitchell Heinzler steps onto the field.
Perfect example of, even though we give credits to the tailback or the quarterback for scoring the touchdown, the offensive line right there made that happen.
They have certainly looked good, especially these last 2 drives. And Heinzler will try to tack on the extra point. And a whistle before the snap. And I don't know what the call is. It wasn't delay of game because there was still time on the play clock. Illegal procedure against Republic, so they're going to back it up.
At the risk of jinxing our kicker, there's plenty enough. He has plenty enough leg, even though they scooted it back.
He's not gonna leave it short. That's for sure. That was a 6-play drive, 88 yards. Took 2 minutes, 25 seconds for the Tigers as they take the lead for the first time tonight. And now Heinzler will kick it from the 15-yard line. So it'll be the equivalent of a 25-yard field goal. The kick is up way long enough and through the middle and good. So Mitchell Heinzler makes it a 6-point lead for the Tigers. It's 14-8 with 6:35 left to go here in the second quarter. Back with more after this.
Don't let another scorching day pass without replacing the old air conditioner that's robbing you of your hard-earned money. Call Ruckman Heating and Cooling and replace it with a high-efficiency model. Get no-interest 3-year financing if you act before October 31st. That's Ruckman Heating and Cooling. Southern Sun Electric can save you money by doing your electrical work right the first time. With 40-plus years experience, let Southern Sun solve your electrical problems quickly and efficiently. Find them online at southernsunelectric.com. Vision Health Eye Center, outstanding eye care, exceptional eyewear. From glasses prescriptions and contact lens fittings to emergency eye care, we help your family see, feel, and look better than they ever have before. Yoakum Automotive's been a staple in Republic since 1986. They are a full-service repair facility with shuttle service if you need to get to work. Find them online at yoakumautomotive.com.
Well, back to action. 6:35 left to go in the second quarter. The Tigers were out there ready to kick off as they just took the lead. And then Marshfield never went out on the field. They waved Republic off the field, so I don't know is there a water break? It's not that hot. I don't know if that's what it would be.
It might be.
But why would you take a water break when you had a timeout?
Right.
I don't understand. Now here come the Tigers again. Maybe it's a TV timeout. Is this on television? I don't know. Mitchell Heinzler is going to kick it off. He can put it in the end zone. He's done it in practice. And going back deep is Danny Novakovic and Tyler Park for Marshfield. The Blue Jays trail now 14-8 after giving up 2 straight touchdowns to the Tigers. And the kick is up. A high end-over-end kick is taken inside the 5-yard line by Novakovic. Has it out to the 15, eludes the tackler out to the 20, and now he's dragged down just across the 20-yard line. That was Park rather than Novakovic. And on the tackle was Justice Daniel, I believe, who got in there and made the hit.
Kicking team looked good right there. Kickoff team, you always, as a coach, you harp on staying on your lanes. That means, do your job, stay in your area, don't leave a giant gap, and everybody stayed in their lanes. We're not able to get a lot of yards there.
6:29 left to go in the second. Marshfield tries to answer the Republic touchdown. Out of the shotgun, 2 wide receivers lined up to the right side. 1 receiver out wide left. Dean barks out the signal and hands it off to number 20. That's Novakovic, and Novakovic carries it out near the first down marker. May have picked up a first down out across the 30-yard line.
Yeah, we had tacklers there, just wasn't able to wrap up. It's things that you practice, some little guys, wrap up. If you don't, the guy will bounce off and get yards, and that was an example of their running back running through some of our guys who did not wrap up.
Tyler Puckett eventually got in there and did make the tackle for the Tigers, and it brings up a first down and 10 from the 32-yard line for Marshfield. Dean, high snap, takes it, hands it off, and again they go inside now, out to about the 35-yard line. I think it was Novakovic who took the ball in there.
Yeah, it was. Marshfield hasn't had a lot of success going up the middle. I don't know if they were trying to test it out again, or most of their success has been bouncing it off the edge.
Novakovic did pick up about 4 yards, though. Second down at 6 coming up for Marshfield. Dean takes another high snap, fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it, hurdles a man, and is hit and dropped. And it was Blake Fanning who took Dean. Dean had just hurdled a defender and had just come down and hadn't gotten set yet, and he met Blake Fanning and went backwards.
2 plays ago, I was talking about how some of the Republic Tiger defenders did not wrap up. Fanning right there showed the rest of the team a perfect example of what you are supposed to do.
Hit him, wrapped him up, and drove him back. They still got 1. Brings up a 3rd and 5 for Marshfield. Dean hands it off to Park. Park picks his way across the line of scrimmage, maybe gets 1. And another good stand by Republic. Tyler Puckett was in there to make the stop for the Tigers.
Looks like we got a timeout.
And Republic wants to call the timeout with a key 4th down coming up. 4th down and about 4 yards, and the Tigers try to stop the clock with 4:29 left to go in the half, because if they can stop Marshfield here, or if Marshfield decides to kick it away, they'll have more time to drive it down and maybe put another touchdown on the board.
And right there, like I said, Marshfield has not had a lot of success just trying to go right down the middle, as they call smash mouth football. And I'm kind of surprised that they kind of keep doing that over and over again here on this previous drive that we've got going on.
Republic defense makes its way back onto the field. Kind of peeking over the shoulder of statistician Tim Barnes here, and a couple of scores. One score, Francis Howell leading Nixa 14-0 in the first quarter. So big game with another COC school, a Class 6 school facing Nixa, and Nixa in a 14-0 hole to start off.
Well, Marshfield's in a spread punt here.
And the kick is dropped, bounced and hit in the backfield and dropped. And that's going to be Tiger ball. As they got back, there was a bad snap. It wasn't a short hop. It was not even really an in-between hop. The snap went about seven yards, and kind of rolled back to the punter, and by the time he picked it up, Tigers had made the stop.
Yeah, it was a weak snap. It hit the grass and almost stopped. And when you're an individual back there, a punter, and you've got 11 guys that are trying to, just tackle you into the ground, he didn't know where to go. He looked like a deer in headlights.
And so the Tigers, with 4:28 left to go, take over with great field position on the 28-yard line and a whistle before the snap. I don't see a flag. Do you see a flag on the field?
No.
Is there a
timeout maybe?
Yeah, timeout called by Marshfield. They want to get things settled and see if they can stop the bleeding. They have given up 2 quick touchdowns to the Tigers, and Republic trying to make it 3. And that would be big if they could take a 21-8 lead at halftime. We'll keep it right here during this break as Marshfield and Republic talk it over.
In Marshfield's coaches right now may be talking about how, usually an offensive coach will do a big play, something big after a huge turnover. And he may be talking with his defense right now saying, they may be drawing something up, maybe something huge, deep pass, something.
Now, you called this last week, and it worked because that's what Republic did after a big defensive stand. They went for the home run ball. They didn't get it, but they did try it right after you said it. So we'll see if you are a mind reader again. Jake Smith lined up in the shotgun, ready to take the snap. In motion is Ellison. Fakes the handoff. He's going to go long. Puts it up top and just over the outstretched arms of number 4, Jared Jensen. Just threw it a little bit too long. Jensen had beaten the defense and would have had an easy touchdown, but it was maybe 2 feet beyond his grasp. I'm going to get you a crystal ball. But you don't need a crystal ball.
Yeah, and the thing is he wasn't the only receiver that was open.
Yeah, there was another guy back there. So the Tigers have it 2nd down and 10 from the 28-yard line, trying to build on a 14-8 lead with 4:23 left to go here in the first half. Jake Smith hands it off to Jones, goes right side, around a couple of tacklers, down near the 20-yard line, keeps his legs moving again, and it's going to be a gain of about 8 for the Tigers and bring up 3rd and short.
His motor just doesn't quit.
Yep.
I mean, he's like a pinball. He's bouncing off guys.
Good job again by the offensive line, that time on the right side. And it's going to be 3rd down. They're going to say it's 3rd and 3. Hand off to David File, who has a 1st down, and he's down inside the 15 near the 10, and a late flag comes in, and a lot of times that will be a face mask at that time of the play and that place where the flag was thrown.
Yep, you're right. Most of the time it is, especially when it's that late. It's not going to be a holding call by any means.
Well, I don't know. Marshfield is saying no. Oh, your fortune-telling record has just been shot. It was holding. It was a very late hold. File had picked up the 1st down, and he was down near the 10-yard line. He was so far downfield that it's not going to be that, not going to be that big of a stretch to get the 1st down again for the Tigers. It's going to be 3rd and 4.
We didn't see any hold, so.
Well, that's the last time I believe you when you predict something. And they fake the handoff to Ellison. They throw it downfield. Wide open is File, and he can't get it. I don't know if it was thrown a little ahead of him. He ended up diving for it and couldn't hold on.
No matter what, it was awkward. It was one of those where he was turned, he's looking up, his torso's turned one way, arms the other. It was going to be difficult.
Almost looked like maybe he expected the ball to be in a different place than it was.
Right.
And so a big 4th down for the Tigers. 4th down and 4, maybe 5. Jake Smith pitches it to File. File's hit in the backfield, makes a man miss, is hit again, and he's going to be snowed under, and the Tigers are going to turn it over on downs.
We got a late flag.
And boy, that would be a killer if it's on Marshfield. Again, very late. Officials talking it over. Boy, if that's against Marshfield, that is a killer with 3:23 left to go here in the first half. The Tigers were marching and hoping to put another touchdown on the board. The official tosses the ball, still talking things over, and he's coming to talk to Jake Smith, so it looks like it probably is going to be against Marshfield.
Right.
As he's consulting with Smith about what the Tigers want to do. It is a face mask against Marshfield. So your prediction was right. You were just a play early.
Right. It
so
happens.
I'll give you credit. I'll give you half credit.
Usually I'm the one giving the half credit in the classroom.
So what a big penalty. It's going to be a 5-yard face mask, though. It's going to bring up 4th down, but now it's going to be 4th and 1. I don't understand. If it was 4th and 4 and it's a 5-yard penalty, I don't know how it's 4th and 1. Is that a spot foul?
Not exactly sure. There wasn't great communication from the referees on exactly what it was.
I guess they're saying he was behind the line of scrimmage when it happened. Hand off to File. Quick hitter. Hurdles over a man. He picks up the first down, and he's down near the 15-yard line before he runs into the pile and is driven back.
I love watching these backs. They're just outstanding. They're hurdling. They're making guys miss. They're doing whatever it takes to get that extra yard. Driving feet, juking a guy.
Yep. File, the 5'9" sophomore. He is so quick. He'll just take that. He took the handoff and just took off. Whereas Jones, maybe a little more power, but takes a little longer than he's quick, but takes a little longer than File to get going, it seems like. Smith out of the shotgun, hands it off to Ellison. Sweeps left side, down inside the 10, gets around the end. He dives for the end zone, hits the cone, and he's in. Touchdown, Tigers. Tristan Ellison.
He dove and put that football right on the pylon.
Number 17, Ellison in for a Tiger touchdown.
I thought he was going to be caught just inside the 5, but good second and third effort there as he stayed on his feet and dove, and the ball hit the cone and knocked it over, and they gave him the touchdown.
It's usually, that type of touchdown in college or NFL are probably looked over again and again and again. Yeah. Like we don't have that in high school.
And that's 3 touchdowns for Tristan Ellison. The extra point is up, plenty long, and the official signal that it's good. So 2:36 left to go here in the second quarter, and the Tigers have taken control. They lead at 21-8 over Marshfield. We'll be back with more after this.
Whether you have a big hole in your roof or you're missing a single shingle, you know who to call in Republic. It's Mike Mansker and the team at Absolute Roofing. Give them a call at 869-0444 or go online to absoluteroofers.com. At Bears Sports Grill, they guarantee you will never leave hungry. 50 different burgers, 21 different wing sauces, and much more. When you're hungry for a burger before or after the game, or just any time, Bears is the place to go in Republic.
Great second quarter for the Tigers. They've taken a 21-8 lead over Marshfield after giving up an early touchdown to the Blue Jays. And they will kick it off here and try to get one more stop on defense before the half is over. Kick is up, and it is taken at the goal line, and stepping back into the end zone for a touchback is Park. So Tyler Park just stepped into the end zone as he took the kick, and Marshfield will take over on the 20-yard line.
Right there we can see that Heinzer definitely has the leg to get the ball into the end zone. And, of course, that, it's obvious when the ball goes in the end zone in high school, it's done. So that takes a lot of pressure off of the kickoff team.
And that's something Republic hasn't had in the years that I've been doing Republic Tiger sports. I don't remember them having a kicker who could get it into the end zone and set up that touchback and make the other team have to drive it 80 yards.
It's been a while.
So Marshfield with the ball, trying to get back in the game. Trailing 21-8, and they're going to pass over the middle and dropped. The pass was intended for Aaron Livingston, of course, and he couldn't hang on. I don't know if he heard footsteps or what.
It was a laser, so as soon as he turned his head, the ball was right there. So I'm not 100% sure he was ready for it.
2nd down and 10 for Marshfield. 2:33 left to go in the first half. Republic leading it 21-8. One wide receiver lined up near side. 2 wide receivers to the far side for Marshfield. Dean takes the snap, and the defense gets back there. Zach Jester almost made the hit, but breaking free is Dean, and he's going to get out for a first down. Goes up the far sideline, across midfield, and he's finally driven out of bounds by Tristan Ellison over there. Zach Jester had such good penetration, he disrupted what I think may have been a handoff, and so Dean just tucked it and ran and got away from the defense, got to the far side, and picked up a first down.
Huge turn of fortune there. Should have been a 5-yard loss. Huge running play.
Big game for Marshfield, and they still have a chance to break back on the scoreboard, trailing 21-8. 2:15 left to go in the second quarter. Snap to Dean, handoff to Park. Park runs into the pile and falls down, and it was Zach Jester in there making the hit.
Did it almost exactly what he did the previous play, just this time he wrapped up instead of just going for the big hit.
Tyler Puckett was in there as well defensively for the Tigers. Brings up 2nd down and 10. Dean getting the play from the sideline.
Looks like there's some confusion or something on Marshfield.
3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Dean takes the snap, throws to nobody.
Yes.
What's confusing?
There was
You're
definite confusion going on because he literally turned and threw it to absolutely nobody.
That was supposed to be a quick pass to the wide receiver lined up out there. The wide receiver ran a route, and he was supposed to stay put, or at least Dean thought he was. So 3rd down and 10. And he's lucky that that pass went forward.
Yeah.
Or it would have been a fumble, and Republic could have jumped on it or scooped it up.
Still looks like there's some confusion. So
1:24 left to go in the half. 3rd and 9.
Hopefully this play has the same end result.
3 wide receivers still. 2 to the right now, 1 to the left. And a whistle and maybe a timeout.
Timeout.
Yep. Timeout called by the Blue Jays. 1:24 left to go. We'll keep it right here. Tigers have had a nice second quarter. They've scored 3 touchdowns in succession after falling behind 8-0. I think 2 of them were in the second quarter and 1 in the first quarter. And all 3 touchdowns by Tristan Ellison, who's had a nice first half.
Yes, looking at the timeout here, the Marshfield coach is definitely, you can tell by his mannerisms, there's definitely some frustration going on. So that's probably a result of two plays in a row where the offense looked like they either didn't get the play or got the play, didn't know what was going on, wasn't relayed correctly. But when you've got 3/4 of the offense all looking at the sideline, putting their hands up, that's a good indication that someone has messed up.
Yeah, that's frustrating in week 1 for a coaching staff, but maybe a little more expected when you get into week 2 and it's still happening, especially twice in a row. Frustration level probably goes up.
Yes.
So Marshfield's going to try it again. 3rd and 9 from the 50-yard line, trailing Republic 21-8. Dean from the shotgun. Takes the snap, hands it off to Park. Park tucks it in and gets out inside the 50, but a gain of only about 2 before he's brought down in there. I think Bradley Wright made the hit for the Tigers. And that's going to bring 4th down. And now Republic's going to call a timeout. They want a chance to score again.
Hey, why not? Be aggressive.
They'll have 118 if Marshfield punts it away. I think we now know one reason that Marshfield faked so many of its punts last week. They have had a real problem even being able to snap the ball. Their long snapper just hasn't even been able to get it close to the punter the last couple of times.
No, and the punter, of course, it's not all his fault, but
right.
When he's gotten the ball, he's almost spastic almost. Doesn't know what to do. So the first time was a quick kick, it wasn't even good. Last time he just picked it up, kind of looked around like, do I run? What do I do with it? And he got tackled for a huge loss.
On the last one, the ball was so slow getting back to him because it bounced probably 5 yards in front of him and started to roll. And you could just imagine what's going through his mind as the ball's probably coming at him slower than the defenders were at that point. Couldn't pick it up fast enough. 1:18 left to go in the second quarter. And lining up to punt is Marshfield. The other thing is that Marshfield, the punter is, a good 13 yards. And the quarterback is back in that punting position. And they're going to instead do a little quick pass across the middle. They did a short snap, and they pick up the first down. So I think Tyler Park was up near the center. They snapped it to him. Tyler Park, not very tall. He's only 5'3". He had to jump and throw it over the offensive line, hit the receiver, and Marshfield keeps the drive alive. 1:17.
Marshfield was in a spread punt. You just spread several players out to the edge, which, of course, makes our guys have to spread out, which leaves the middle wide open.
And so Marshfield still alive with a chance to score. Hand it off to Park. Park gets inside of one defender, gets to the sideline, down near the first down marker, and driving him out of bounds, a couple of Tiger defenders. Jake Smith was over there, and so was Jack Hayes, I believe, was over there as well.
Marshfield's tailback looked like our tailback right there. Didn't quit, made a couple of guys miss. First defender made contact, kept running his feet.
And 2nd down and 1 coming up for Marshfield. Down to 1:02 left to go. Clock stopped because he went out of bounds. Out of the shotgun. Dean. And a flag and a whistle. That was before the snap, so probably either a delay of game. I didn't see the game clock. It's reset. Or illegal procedure. Yep, false start against Marshfield. And so they'll move back 5. Instead of 2nd down and 1, it's going to be 2nd down and 6.
It'd be kind of hard to call, play clock due to the fact that play clock isn't consistent on every play.
Yeah, that's true. Not always, I don't think. There's been a couple times where I think they hadn't started it. So 2nd down and 6 coming up for Marshfield. Dean with Park next to him. Fakes the handoff to Park. Comes far side, down the sideline, and the pass is caught, and I believe it's going to be, nope, not caught. He didn't come away with the ball, but a flag. Yeah. Going to be pass interference. The ball was a little bit short, but the defender never turned around to play the ball. He just stuck his hands up. So that's going to be a big gain for Marshfield, and the drive is still alive. 56.7 seconds left. And it didn't seem like there was very much time left in the half when Marshfield got the ball, but they're driving it methodically and stopping the clock between plays. And suddenly that timeout called by Republic may come back to haunt them a little bit because Marshfield was able to pick up the first down instead of punting it away. Officials talking things over. The flag was thrown around the 10-yard line.
On that particular penalty, usually the refs will call face guarding, where the defender just puts the hands right up, pretty much right in the face, why it's called face guarding, of the receiver. And if our guy is not turned around and actually looking at the ball, that's what they'll call, even though there wasn't a lot of contact in that particular instance. Yeah. It's one of those where if he would have just turned around, looked back, probably would not have been called a penalty.
And now they're backing up Marshfield. And the ball, it's hard to say what they're going to do. They're giving him it's a first down, but the ball is going to be at the, now they're going back so they can march it off is what they're doing. I thought they were marching everybody back. They're going to march it down to about the 16, 17-yard line, I believe. Maybe call it the 15. Yeah. The ball's going to be at the 15, and Marshfield's going to go up and snap it as quickly as they can. First down for the Blue Jays as they try to cut into this Republic lead. Hand off to Park. Park cuts it outside, makes one tackler miss, now cuts it back inside, dives across the 15-yard line. Good second effort by Tyler Park as he kept moving the feet. We talked about Journey Jones doing that. Clock is running, 39 seconds left to go in the half. Second down for Marshfield. And a whistle now, and a flag. Again before the snap.
There is a flag.
And they're going to say there was movement again on the Marshfield line, so false start against the Blue Jays backs them up. That's going to bring up a second down. Clock still running, 24 seconds left. I think Marshfield's probably got to go to the air here. And if it's incomplete, at least the clock stops. They fake the handoff, put it up in the end zone, open in the end zone, touchdown Marshfield. That's Wyatt Finley. Finley just went up the left side and was open. And a nice throw by Dean makes it 21-14 Republic.
Not exactly sure what corner was over there, but the corner bit on the run and came flying up. And the Marshfield receiver, Finley, was just able to run right past him, and before a corner could realize it was a pass play, it was too late.
And so, boy, that's a big turnaround. Instead of leading 21-8, now it's 21-14, and a two-point conversion attempt and another flag before the snap. So probably another false start against the Blue Jays. No, they're going to say it's offsides against Republic. So this one goes the other direction, and they'll put it half the distance to the goal line. It'll be a little bit closer for the two-point conversion for the Blue Jays. This last minute has taken a while to play.
Yes, it has. And there's been definitely several plays in a short amount of time.
Marshfield lines up three wide receivers, two to the right, one to the left. Dean backs up, calls the play, and goes out of the shotgun. Marshfield going for the two-point conversion here, trailing by 7, 21-14 in the final seconds of the half. Hands it off, and Tyler Park is dragged down in the backfield by Blake Fanning. Good play by Fanning, and the two-point conversion is no good. So, 13 seconds left in the half. Republic still leads it 21-14. Back with more after this.
Travel agent Carla Stotts at Destinations to Explore can make your dreams come true through the world of travel. She has expertise for all travel, so let her book your next family vacation. Call her at 848-8369 or click the link to her Facebook page on my website and browse while you're listening for more information. Hetty Barbecue Company is home to great barbecue, including the famous Pig Nasty Sandwich. Go in and check them out. Remember that kids eat free now on Monday and Tuesday evening from 5 to 8 p.m. That's Hetty Barbecue Company in Republic. Any day is a great day to send flowers. Heaven Sent Flowers and Gifts has been your local florist in Republic since 1987, offering free local delivery. Call them at 732-1334 or go online to heavensentflowers.com. Did you know Hines Street Pharmacy will deliver your prescriptions right to your door? Or that they can often save you money compared to what you're paying at big box pharmacies? Both those things are true and more. Go to Hines Street Pharmacy and experience the hometown difference.
Kick is in the air. It is received by Republic. And out across the 25 to the 30-yard line. Spun around, still moving his feet. Out to the 35. And dragged down with 6 seconds left. I think that was Tristan Ellison.
Ellison with the return for the Tigers.
So Ellison takes it out to the 35-yard line. 6 seconds left. We'll see if the Tigers decide just to sit on it or try to put it in the end zone on one last play here, leading 21-14 over Marshfield. Marshfield took it 80 yards on that last drive.
Yeah. Short amount of time. Sure wasn't expecting that happens.
Well, the Tigers have big play capability, so we'll see if they can get somebody to the edge or break through the middle and beat the defense. Jake Smith is going to keep it. He goes right side, tucks it inside, out across the 50, and he's dragged down at the 45-yard line, and time is going to run out on the Tigers, but a flag.
The flag was, I'm not 100% sure if Marshfield may have had an extra guy out on the field because there was confusion. You had two guys talking about who was supposed to come out, and the ball was snapped.
Brady Coble looks like he was shaken up on the play, and he's being helped off the field. And the officials with another long conference as they consider what that is. And it is 12 men on the field. Extra player out there for Marshfield, so Tigers will get another shot at it. Here they come back out on the field. They were ready to go to the locker room, but instead they're going to have one more try.
That's a good catch on the referee's part there to be able to quickly count. I'm pretty sure they probably had some help from the Republic side. But usually you have at least one assistant coach that's constantly counting on both sides to make sure that we have enough players out there and the other guys don't have too many players out there.
So just to make this last part of the half go even longer, we're going to play a play after the time has expired in the first half. The Tigers lead at 21-14. There's no time on the clock, but they are going to get one more play, and they get the result of the play, and then they get it marked off. So marking off the penalty from about midfield, they're going to take it down. It's going to be down to the 31-yard line. So a big turnaround, and now the Tigers on the 31. Marshfield's coaching staff not happy with the way they've marked it off. And he's going to call over, Coach Caduti is going to call over the official and wants to talk about why the ball is where it is. But no, we're going to go ahead and play. So one more play for the Tigers. No time on the clock. They fake the handoff to Ellison. Jake Smith gets away from a tackler, throws it long downfield, and open in the end zone is Journey Jones. Touchdown, Tigers! Journey Jones got free in the end zone, and Jake Smith hit him with the pass. And what a play with no time on the clock. The 12 men on the field penalty kills Marshfield, and the Tigers score the touchdown to move their lead to 27-14.
That looked like it was going to be a sack. There was a Marshfield defender that literally tried to wrap up Jake, and Jake was able to spin out and hit him for the touchdown.
So what a turnaround. And Mitchell Heinzler is out there to kick the extra point, and we'll try to make it a 14-point lead. That is deflating for Marshfield. The kick is up, and it is good, and the Tigers lead it 28-14. Thanks to that late touchdown pass from Jake Smith to Journey Jones. 28-14 the halftime score. Back with more after this break.
Charisma Salon, haircuts, hair color, manicures, and more. A great salon, great stylists. At 484 U.S. Highway 60 East, just west of Elm Street. Call for an appointment today at 689-9173. No matter what you drive, next time you have a fender bender, call Kirk's Collision Center. Kyle and his team are the people to fix you up in Republic. Find them online at kirkscollisioncenter.com. Kirk's Collision Center. If you can wreck it, they can fix it.
Run a half marathon.
Stop smoking.
Feel young again.
Whether you're dealing with an ongoing health challenge or simply want to feel your best, Cox Health is on your side. We offer classes to help you manage diabetes, fibromyalgia, chronic pain. Whatever you need, we have resources to help.
I rode 180 miles.
I lost 180 pounds.
Because I can.
And you can too. Call Cox Health at 269-4847.
State Farm Insurance is there anytime, anywhere you need it, with helpful advice and award-winning service. In Republic, call Chris Yoakum at 732-1463 or go online at chrisyoakum.com and get to a better state. Matsuti brings you the Home Team Report, a schedule of every Tiger home game in every sport in Republic Tiger Sports Magazine. And now you can add him to your home team when you have questions about your mortgage. Find him online at gocsuti.com. Mid-Missouri Bank is home to a no-wait debit card. Walk in, open a checking account, and walk out with your new card at Mid-Missouri Bank at the corner of Hines and Highway 60 in Republic.
Welcome back to Marshfield, where the Tigers have a 28-14 lead over the Blue Jays at halftime. Exciting end to the half as the Tigers, with no time left on the clock after a penalty against the Blue Jays, launched a pass into the end zone and scored a touchdown to give them the 14-point lead. Let's recap the scoring from the first half. And it started after a Tiger turnover in their own territory with a Marshfield touchdown. Marshfield took the ball on the 37-yard line of Republic. They took 9 plays, 4:57 on the clock. 2-point conversion made it 8-0 in Marshfield's favor. Republic answered very quickly on their very next drive. They went 9 plays, 70 yards, 4 minutes, 34 seconds. Extra point by Mitchell Heinzler was good, and that made it 8-7, still in favor of Marshfield. Tigers got a stop, and on the very next drive, they scored again. They went 6 plays, 88 yards, 2:25 is how long it took on the clock, and they led 14-8 after Mitchell Heinzler's extra point. Another stop for the Tiger defense and another touchdown for the Tiger offense. Next drive, 1 minute, 52 seconds. They went 28 yards on 7 plays and made it 21-8. Marshfield then answered late as they had an 80-yard 10-play drive in the final, what looked like was going to be the final 2 minutes, 23 seconds of the half. And they scored to make it 21-14 on a touchdown pass. Looked like the half was about over, just had to do the kickoff. That would be it. But instead, with 6.2 seconds left, the Tigers ran one play out to midfield. There was an extra man on the field for Marshfield. So the Tigers got to go again, even though time had expired. And that's when Jake Smith put up the long touchdown pass to Journey Jones. It was a 65-yard drive, 2 plays, 6.2 seconds. That's what you call a quick strike offense. And that made it 28-14, and that's where we stand at halftime as the Tigers have the lead. We'll be back with first half statistics and much more here at halftime at Marshfield. Tigers lead at 28-14. Back with more after this.
Preston Family Dental will lead you down the path to a healthy smile. They offer general dentistry for all ages, plus tooth whitening, 6-month smile orthodontics, and more. That's Preston Family Dental online at PrestonDentalTeam.com. Don't let another scorching day pass without replacing the old air conditioner that's robbing you of your hard-earned money. Call Ruckman Heating and Cooling and replace it with a high-efficiency model. Get no-interest 3-year financing if you act before October 31st. That's Ruckman Heating and Cooling. Southern Sun Electric can save you money by doing your electrical work right the first time. With 40-plus years experience, let Southern Sun solve your electrical problems quickly and efficiently. Find them online at southernsunelectric.com. Vision Health Eye Center, outstanding eye care, exceptional eyewear. From glasses prescriptions and contact lens fittings to emergency eye care, we help your family see, feel, and look better than they ever have before. Yoakum Automotive has been a staple in Republic since 1986. They are a full-service repair facility with shuttle service if you need to get to work. Find them online at yoakumautomotive.com.
Back at Marshfield, where the Tigers lead the Blue Jays 28-14 at halftime. The Marshfield band is on the field, and we've got halftime statistics for Republic. 3 touchdowns, 76 passing yards, 175 rushing yards for the Tigers, a total of 251 yards. And you've got Marshfield's total stats there, Richard.
Yeah, Marshfield had 72 passing yards and about equaled that with the rushing with 76 with a total of 148 yards.
So the Tigers, with the much better offensive performance, 251 to 148 total yards, and rushing the ball, 93 yards rushing, 5 carries, 93 yards rushing for Jake Smith. It's been a year since Tim Barnes has done stats for me, and I'm not used to where everything is on the sheet, so I'm trying to decipher what he's got here. I was going to have Rich Miles do this, but then I realized that we've been doing this so long that Rich might need a little coaching before he can read Tim's stat sheet. 93 yards rushing for Jake Smith, 42 yards rushing for Journey Jones, and David File had 21 yards rushing, 19 yards rushing for Tristan Ellison. 5 carries, 19 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's what you call being efficient for Tristan Ellison, is when they were down near the end zone, they gave Tristan Ellison the ball, and he managed to get it in all 3 times, and that last run was a nice one, especially, I thought, with the second effort.
Yes, and of course, it's one of those where hindsight's 2020, but that passing yards could even be well over 200 yards. 2 plays down here that the receiver was wide open, ball was just thrown, a little bit over the receiver's head, couldn't quite get it. One of those probably for a touchdown, but hey, we'll take a 2-touchdown lead going into halftime.
Still 76 passing yards for the Tigers, so Jake Smith having a nice game. Garrett Gordon with 2 catches for 45 yards. So he had a pass last week that was thrown a little bit behind him that he maybe could have caught, but he's had a nice game with 2 receptions for 45 yards. And David File, of course, with the 31-yard reception for the touchdown there at halftime. So we talked about Aaron Livingston getting his number called quite a bit there in the first half. And number 29 for Marshfield seemed like he was getting his number called a lot, but he has 2 carries for no yards. So he did get a couple of receptions for 14 yards, but not the statistical dominance that it seemed like. Of course, his name was called a lot on defense as well, but he seemed to be an integral part of everything Marshfield was doing, but the stat sheet really doesn't show that he's been as dominant as it seemed that he has been.
Right, and like you said, it may seem like calling his name a lot because he's on defense.
Yeah.
Offense, too, he's making a lot of blocks, too. So
yeah.
He's pretty much in every single play on both sides of the ball.
Jordan Dean, the quarterback, had 4 carries for 37 yards. And, of course, 72 yards passing for Jordan Dean as well. It all adds up to a 28-14 lead for the Tigers at halftime. Marshfield Band is on the field performing at halftime here. And speaking of music, we'll have Mitch Piles with the Republic Choir's Booster Club to talk about what's going on with them after we come back from this break. Again, 28-14, a lead for the Tigers here at halftime. Back with more after this.
Whether you have a big hole in your roof or you're missing a single shingle, you know who to call in Republic. It's Mike Mansker and the team at Absolute Roofing. Give them a call at 869-0444 or go online to absoluteroofers.com. At Bears Sports Grill, they guarantee you will never leave hungry. 50 different burgers, 21 different wing sauces, and much more. When you're hungry for a burger before or after the game, or just any time, Bears is the place to go in Republic. Travel agent Carla Stotts at Destinations to Explore can make your dreams come true through the world of travel. She has expertise for all travel, so let her book your next family vacation. Call her at 848-8369 or click the link to her Facebook page on my website and browse while you're listening for more information.
Back at Marshfield at halftime, the Tigers lead at 28-14. I'm joined by Mitch Piles, who has been an instrumental part of the Republic Choirs Booster Club. You hear a lot about the Athletic Booster Club, of course, and the Choirs Booster Club is something new. Tell us about kind of how that came to be, Mitch.
Basically what it is, the Republic Choir, we've never really had a group get together to try and raise funds there for our choir. We've got a lot of choir kids. We've got over 160 choir kids actually right now in the school, and over 50 of them are actually some of our athletes. You know, obviously we already know several of the football players are. You know, we have lacrosse, basketball, baseball, all across, but unfortunately, there wasn't a way to actually raise some extra funds for the choir that we desperately need some things. When you've got that many kids, you know, we need new risers, music is expensive, all this type of stuff. So we're just trying to, you know, it's a bunch of parents trying to get together to try and raise some funds just to try and, you know, help out the choir, because we've got kids coming up. 6th grade, as a matter of fact, will actually be performing in Tantera this year for the Missouri Music Educators Association. Basically, you know, their get together. This is a real big deal. There's only been 2 groups from Republic ever in their history. The other one was actually a band that actually performed at this. So, and of course, traveling costs money.
Right. And I would imagine that building a program like, you know, talk about a lot of times a football program starts at the youth level and the younger level. Is that the case as well with choir?
Absolutely, it absolutely is. Yes. You know, like I said, you know, our 6th grade, that's actually kind of like where the individual parts, you know, the kids start to learn some of the, you know, the bigger and better, you know, types of music. But yeah, there's 6th grade, 7th and 8th grade choir. Then of course, you know, they're in the high school level. There's several different choirs there, and that's one thing that we're very proud of is of all of our choir. We've had over I want to say like 70 or more, I can't remember the exact number, actually go to state last year. And you know, state is just like in sports. In choir, it's the same deal. It's a very, very big deal. So you know, we're trying to just keep the choir building. You know, get people involved. You know, like for instance, going to the musical that we've got coming up there in November. There are only 19 kids in the musical. 6 of them are athletes. 6 of them are actually Republic athletes. So you know, any of the athletic parents, you know, band parents, you know, because obviously the band's going to be involved there in the musical as well.
Right.
You know, go and support your choir. Another thing that we're doing is if you go to our Facebook page, Republic Choir Booster Club, okay, they're on Facebook, you can actually purchase a T-shirt and a magnet. It's a kind of a group thing, $20 for a T-shirt and a magnet there for your car. We also sell them separately, but if you want to actually check out the design, just go ahead and go there to our Facebook page. Of course, while you're there, like us. So, you know, and also while you're there, check out some of the videos, because we will be posting videos there of our kids singing. It's a really great website, I guess, if you will, great page.
Republic Choir Booster Club. You can find it on Facebook, or you know, if you want to help, you can do it there.
Absolutely, yes, sir. We need help. You know, just like everybody else. You know, like I said, riser, music, pianos, anything like that. You know, that we can actually help out there with the kids.
All right, Mitch Piles, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, David.
Tigers lead at 28-14 here at halftime, and we will be back with more after this break.
Eddie Barbecue Company is home to great barbecue, including the famous Pig Nasty Sandwich. Go in and check them out. Remember that kids eat free now on Monday and Tuesday evening from 5 to 8 p.m. That's Eddie Barbecue Company in Republic. Any day is a great day to send flowers. Heaven Sent Flowers and Gifts has been your local florist in Republic since 1987, offering free local delivery. Call them at 732-1334 or go online to heavensentflowers.com. Did you know Hines Street Pharmacy will deliver your prescriptions right to your door? Or that they can often save you money compared to what you're paying at big box pharmacies? Both those things are true and more. Go to Heinz Street Pharmacy and experience the hometown difference. Charisma Salon, haircuts, hair color, manicures, and more. A great salon, great stylists. At 484 U.S. Highway 60 East, just west of Elm Street. Call for an appointment today at 689-9173. No matter what you drive, next time you have a fender bender, call Kirk's Collision Center. Kyle and his team are the people to fix you up in Republic. Find them online at kirkscollisioncenter.com. Kirk's Collision Center. If you can wreck it, they can fix it.
Run a half marathon.
Stop smoking.
Feel young again.
Whether you're dealing with an ongoing health challenge or simply want to feel your best, Cox Health is on your side. We offer classes to help you manage diabetes, fibromyalgia, chronic pain, whatever you need, we have resources to help.
I rode 180 miles.
I lost 180 pounds.
Because I can.
And you can too. Call Cox Health at 269-4847.
State Farm Insurance is there anytime, anywhere you need it, with helpful advice and award-winning service. In Republic, call Chris Yoakum at 732-1463 or go online at chrisyoakum.com and get to a better state. Matsuti brings you the Home Team Report, a schedule of every Tiger home game in every sport in Republic Tiger Sports Magazine. And now you can add him to your home team when you have questions about your mortgage. Find him online at goseesuti.com. Mid-Missouri Bank is home to a no-wait debit card. Walk in, open a checking account, and walk out with your new card at Mid-Missouri Bank at the corner of Hines and Highway 60 in Republic.
Halftime in Marshfield, the Tigers lead the Blue Jays 28-14. How big was that last touchdown by the Tigers, Rich Miles, as Republic had led Marshfield back into the game? It was 21-14 at the time, and then the Tigers take it with about 6 seconds left and put it in the end zone.
Huge momentum swing. Instead of it, Marshall going in, being all energetic, hey, we just scored a touchdown, descended into halftime. Total opposite now. Republic goes in all energetic, huge play to score a touchdown, go in with a 2-touchdown lead. That's something that you build on. Talked about how kids feed off of energy. So it's one of those that guys on the field, offense is all jacked up. The guys that are on defense, that are on the sidelines, then they're getting all energetic and they want to get in. Everybody wants to be part of the whole, the whole game and the environment of I want to do this. We need to do this. It always feels great when you're out on the field and great things go happen. It's just the environment, everything. You look over there at our fans over there on that side, and they're all jumping up there. They're feeding off us. The team's feeding off of them. It's great.
Offensively, the Tigers had 5 drives in that first half. They turned the ball over on the first one, and then they scored on the next 4. So that's pretty good efficiency for the offense for the Tigers, as they managed to put the ball in the end zone 4 out of the 5 times that they had it. The only time they were stopped, they really did it to themselves, fumbling on an exchange in the backfield and turning it over. And that gave Marshfield that early lead. And that's the kind of thing, Republic comes into this game, I think, favored. And so the kind of thing that can hurt a favorite in this situation is to have that maybe early turnover, give an easy touchdown to the other team, and it looked like that might actually be what happened as Marshfield put it in, but the Tigers responded offensively, I thought.
Right, and what we, definitely can't do is we can't come out flat. We can't, feel like, hey, we're up by 2 touchdowns. It's second half. We've got to come right out and, punch them right in the face and set the tempo of the second half very quickly and shut Marshfield down. Don't give them an ounce of second that they feel like they can get back in this game.
Of course, Marshfield did have a drive, that last drive of the half, that went 80 yards, so they were able to move the ball, and they'll get the ball coming back. That makes that last touchdown by the Tigers even more important, because Marshfield's going to have the ball coming out of halftime, and that would have been an opportunity for them to possibly tie the game. Now the best they can do is get within a touchdown if they can go down and score.
Yes, and that's something that, some people, why are you deferring? Why are you deferring? You won the coin toss. And it's one of those, it's a chess match. You're thinking several plays down the road. And like you said, that could be a huge momentum change. Marshfield scores a touchdown right before half. The half's over with. They come out and get the ball again and have a chance of possibly scoring back-to-back touchdowns. But, right there, bam, bam, football is a huge momentum swing type of sport. Things look like it's going great for one team, and then it just takes one instance where, someone didn't do their job, and Marshfield had 12 individuals out there, and that 12th individual totally changed the score on the scoreboard.
Boy, and how good has Jake Smith been? I mean, running the offense back there, that's not an easy offense to run. And then on top of that, he's got 93 yards rushing. He's passed for 76 yards.
Yes.
Just a great game for Jake Smith. And he's one of those quiet players who isn't flashy, who doesn't necessarily get a lot of the attention that, you've got you got a tailback like Journey Jones, you've got Jace Duvall when he's able to be out there, and you've got so many different weapons that the guy giving the ball to those different weapons sometimes gets overlooked. But I thought Jake Smith had an absolutely fantastic first half.
Yes, and like you said, his demeanor is, leadership. It's not all about him. If he does a great play, he's not, pounding his chest, something like that. He's one of those where he's back in the huddle. It's time to go back to work. And when the other players on the offense see that leadership in him, that kind of keeps everybody level-headed. There's no panic if something goes wrong. There's no, wasting energy jumping around after a big play type thing. And Jake is one of those guys that he's just an all-around leader. He's like that in the hallways of the school. He's a kid that, pretty low-key, but everybody knows that his character is great, and he's just a good leader.
Boy, taking a look at scores around the area, a COC score, Willard was playing Central, and you thought that would probably be lopsided. 65-0 at halftime, Willard leading Central.
Wow.
So Willard off to a big start. 286 yards rushing in the first half, 124 yards passing. They scored 9 times. So quite a first half for Willard. Boy,
that will be a quick game unless something drastically changes. That's going to be a turbo clock in the fourth quarter.
And 60. That's actually kind of amazing that they have 65 points and they only have about 400 total yards. Pretty amazing. Francis Howell leads Nixa 28-0 at halftime. The thing's not going Nix's way. Nixa in danger of falling to 0-2. Ozark leading St. Clair 21-0 at halftime. Another COC score.
It could be that Willard game. You could have the defense scoring too.
Yeah, I mean, you would normally say 400 yards and a half is a lot of yards, but 65 points, that's, you would think maybe 500, 600 yards. So I wonder if there were some turnovers and some short fields there. Webb City playing Rockhurst, and Webb City leading Rockhurst at halftime, 27-14. So how about that for a COC score?
Well, that right there
taking on the Hawklets
has been the talk of not just the area, but the talk of the state. You've got two powerhouses that don't play each other hardly at all.
Right.
Going at it. You have Rockhurst, that's well known, being one of the best schools in the state of Missouri. Of course, Webb City being well known as being one of the best football teams in the country.
Yep.
And when you've got two great powerhouses going at it, that's going to get a lot of attention.
Well, that's one of those games for Rockhurst that's credit Rockhurst for scheduling that game, because there's Rockhurst, to anybody who doesn't know better, should win that game against a Class 4 Webb City team, and they scheduled it and put themselves on the line, and then credit Webb City for going up there and taking the lead 27-14 at halftime at one of the toughest places to play in the state of Missouri. I did a lot of games back on radio when I was living in Jeff City. That was a huge rivalry. It was the Jefferson City Jays against Rockhurst, and that was a weekly a yearly game, same week every year. And that's not an easy place to go in and get a win. And Rockhurst, with a great program, and Webb City has taken it to them in the first half. All right, we're just about ready to go here in the second half at Marshfield. Republic getting ready to kick off. Mitchell Heinzler has it teed up, puts it in the air, kicks it deep, and taken at about the 5-yard line. Instead, it rolls into the end zone, and they're going to say it's a touchback. And, boy, that was almost a fumble because Danny Novakovic back there,
he didn't want any of it.
Well, he misplayed the ball. I think he was going to catch it, but it went over his head, and so he jumped for it. And if his hands had touched it and it went through his fingertips, that would have been a live ball. But they say he didn't get his hand on it, and so.
Well, on kickoff, it's a live ball no matter what.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So it didn't matter. It didn't matter if anybody.
So he did go back and get on it. You're right.
Right, but once it went through his hands, he kind of looked back nonchalant, like, I don't want this. I hope this rolls in the end zone, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. And so taking over from the 20, Marshfield has it. And Dean is going to keep it, takes it right up the middle between a couple of defenders, and he's dragged down around the 30-yard line near the first down. And making the tackle in there for the Tigers was Cooper Powell. He's slow to get up, but he's up and he's walking it off.
Marshfield running the zone read again, and it just made our linebackers go the wrong direction.
Just short of a first down. Second down and less than a yard for Marshfield. First drive of the second half, they trail Republic 28-15 and a whistle before the snap. We have had a lot of those.
Yes. Let's see.
And it's offside against Republic. So I don't know if they were lined up in the neutral zone.
Well, there's no excuse for that. I mean, if it was on the defensive line, which most of the time it is on defense, all you got to do is just turn your head and look to see is my head over the football or not. If it is, scoot back before the ball snap.
Either way, it's a first down for Marshfield. They take it out near the 35-yard line where they'll have it first and 10. 11:24 left in the third quarter. And hit in the backfield and dropped. Good play in there by Blake Fanning and also Kyle Powell. That's going to be a big loss of about 5.
Marshfield, once again, did the replay. Instead of the quarterback keeping it, he ended up being the wrong decision. Our guys read it, didn't fool anybody. We had 4 or 5 guys surrounding the ball carrier.
Call it second down at 15 for Marshfield now. Taking the snap is Dean. He drops back, passes it down the right sideline, and the pass is caught. And now cutting inside across midfield, down inside the 30 is Wyatt Finley. And a long gain for Marshfield. First down inside Tiger territory.
Finley's the one who had that, I believe, the touchdown earlier. Same thing again. He was wide open, outran the defender.
And so first and 10 on the 29-yard line of Republic for Marshfield. Trailing 28-14 are the Blue Jays. Fake handoff. Dean is going to throw it again. Out in the left flat. And taken by Livingston. He gets it out far side along the sideline before he's dragged down.
He may be limping a little bit.
Blake Smith was in there Blake Fanning on the stop, and he comes up limping as well.
First down for the Blue Jays.
And Fanning's going to stay over on the far sideline, on the Tigers sideline, and come out. First and 10 for Marshfield again. They move the chains. 16-yard line, inside the red zone. Knocking on the door as they try to cut into a 14-point lead. Dean hands it off to Park. Good penetration by the Tiger defense. 3 Tigers back in there, including Tyler Puckett, who I think made the initial hit.
There was part of that was due to the fact that the QB tailback exchange was messed up. They ran into each other. And when you run into each other like that, slows the whole play down.
Loss of about 1 for Marshfield brings up 2nd down and 11. Tiger defense would like a stop here to stop Marshfield from feeling they can get back in the game. The offense has moved the ball. The defense allowed a long drive at the end of the half. Dean keeps it, and good penetration zipping into the backfield. Zach Jester takes him down. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage for Dean. Jester split through the gap and came in and made the stop.
Yep, we brought some pressure that time right up, and as the quarterback decided to keep it instead of give it, wrong decision, of course. You can say that after the play's over with, but Zach Jester was able to just blast through the A gap and make the tackle.
So they're going to say that's a loss of a yard, brings up 3rd and 12 for Marshfield. From the 18-yard line, 9:21 left to go in the 3rd quarter. 2 receivers split out wide to the right, 1 to the left. More confusion by Marshfield. Now Dean gets the call from the sideline, turns around to take the snap from the shotgun. Backs up, looks to pass. Pump fake, has to bring it down, tucks it and runs, takes it inside, down near the 1st down marker. Dragged down out there by number 68, Adam Butcher. And I think he's going to be a couple yards short of the 1st down. So a big play coming up for the Tiger defense. 4th down and 2 for Marshfield.
Do we have a timeout or?
Now there's a flag. Must have been late. I didn't see it thrown during the play, but the officials are talking things over again.
Sideline warning on Republic.
So that won't have any effect on the game. They just tell Republic to back up off the sideline. That's a weekly occurrence now. There's a flag, we wonder what it could possibly be, and then 30 seconds later we realize it's just a sideline warning. So 28-14 the score. Tigers leading, and they have a 4th and 2 as they try to stop Marshfield here. Marshfield trying to cut into the lead from the shotgun. And a false start as one of the wide receivers on the far side for Marshfield took off to run his route before the ball was snapped. Wyatt Mitchell got a little jumpy.
And as a coach, that just irritates you because day one you're teaching the receivers, when you line up, you're looking inside at the ball.
Yep.
Even if you don't know what the snap count is for whatever reason, you forgot, wasn't told, all you got to do is look inside, don't move till the ball does. Very irritating.
Well, that's a big one because it takes it from 4th and 2 now to 4th and 7. And Marshfield trying to get the play from the sideline as they hope to convert and keep the drive alive. Dean calls out the signal, fakes the handoff, drops back to pass, under pressure, and sacked. The Tiger defense comes up with a big sack. And that was Bradley Wright who got in there and sacked Dean to snuff out the threat from the Marshfield Blue Jays.
Yeah, he just came right through. I don't know if anybody even blocked him. That's how quick it was.
There were a couple of Tiger defenders who collapsed on Dean, and Wright got in there and threw him to the ground, so the Tigers take over. 8:12 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Republic now with the ball, and they take over on their own 20-yard line. Jake Smith from the shotgun, and bad snap, but he picks it up off the ground and runs right behind a blocker, gets to the sideline, almost out to the 1st down marker. A late flag is thrown. Smith was right on the back of his lead blocker and just followed him downfield.
Well, as we sit here and wait for the call here, I'm not too quick on giving us that.
They're probably the officials are getting tired. There have been so many flags. They've had a lot of work to do. I think it's going to go against the Tigers. They're going to say it's holding. So again, a holding call late in the play, and the flag thrown against the Tigers. A reminder that we will be selecting the Hetty Barbecue Pigskin Play of the Game at the end of this one. I know what I'm thinking might be the pigskin play of the game right now. Rich Miles, I don't want to bias your opinion, so I'm going to wait to hear what you have to say.
Well, as of right now, it's going to be the one we scored right before the halftime with 0 seconds on the clock.
And now I can confirm that I would agree with you at this point. But we'll see. It's still only a 2-touchdown game. It may come down to the end. We may have a better one. Tigers take the ball and a direct snap to Ellison, who is open and gets out across the 30, across the 35, pulled down near the 40-yard line. Ellison cut in motion in front of Jake Smith and took the snap and came near side and picked up the first down.
What I love to see is the offensive linemen running down the field, still giving blocks. They're not stopping. They're not doing the first block and I'm done, and the running back's past me. You got all of these offensive linemen running down the field, first block, second block, third block.
And so the Tigers have a first down. We're going to say they are on the 37-yard line. Jake Smith, a little quick pitch to David File. File goes off the right side between a couple of defenders across midfield, down into Marshfield territory. And again, the quick hit on the pitch to David File.
2 big plays. You see the excitement, out of the huddle already. Guys are starting to pop around a little bit.
And the offense has been on the field a lot for Republic. That means the defense for Marshfield has been on the field a lot. And so they may be starting to wear down a little bit, even though we're still only midway through the third quarter. Jake Smith hands it to File. File goes right side again. Has a blocker. Goes out across the first down marker inside the 40-yard line near the 35.
Once again, lineman down the field. Huge block. Makes the tailback's job a little bit easier when you've got 2 or 3 linemen going down the field picking up blocks for you.
They're going to say he's down at the 37, and the Tigers will have it there, 1st and 10. Already leading 28-14, 6:57 left to go, and the clock running in the third quarter. Ellison lined up in the slot. Fake pitch to File. Instead, Smith keeps it, cuts it back inside, loses the ball. It's on the ground, still loose, and I think Marshfield jumps on it. Jake Smith got hit. The ball was knocked free, and Marshfield, I think, is on it on about the 35-yard line. Big turnaround for the defense for the Blue Jays as they forced a turnover.
Like I said earlier, football's huge momentum swing. It looked like we were just going to march it down the field pretty easily, and something like this right here changes things dramatically.
So with 6:36 left to go in the third, Marshfield takes over and a chance to get back in the game, trailing by 2 touchdowns. Officials blow the whistle, and I think it's an official timeout. But I'm not sure why.
Yeah, they haven't signaled anything yet, so I'm not quite sure.
Well, the official, when he blew the whistle, pointed at himself, so it is not a timeout on either team, but they're just going to take a break. Maybe this is the Phantom TV timeout like we had in the first half. In any event, 6:36 left to go. The Tigers were moving the ball again. Another drive that they didn't score, just like their first drive in the first half, was cut short very early on in that case by a turnover. The only thing that has stopped the Republic offense has been the Republic offense so far tonight.
Yes.
They've scored if they haven't turned it over.
Yes. Instances of some holding, penalties here and there. Like you said, it's us holding ourselves back.
So Marshfield will try to cut into a 14-point lead with 6:36 left to go in the third quarter as they come back onto the field and try to get an offensive drive going. They've got 66 yards to go if they want a touchdown. Dean takes the ball, hands it off to Novakovic, and he's wrapped up by Tyler Puckett. Gain of maybe 1.
Marshall has not had a lot of success just trying to just smash it up the middle. We've pretty much shut down that option that Marshfield has there.
Are you surprised at all that they haven't thrown the ball more than they have?
A little bit.
They send a man in motion. That's Park. He goes behind the quarterback. Dean looks to throw, throws it down the middle, and he throws it behind his intended receiver. Was meant for Aaron Livingston, but Livingston tried to turn around and reach behind him and couldn't reach it.
Just as you say, you know, surprised they haven't passed it, then they go and pass it. Right?
Yeah, and it's incomplete. That's why, I guess, they haven't passed it. That's why I'm not a coach.
They've had some success, though. We recall it's been mostly big passes. No real success on any short passes, hoping that the receiver can make something out of it.
3rd and 9 coming up for Marshfield. 6:01 left to go in the third. 28-14, the Tigers with the lead on the road, trying to move their record to 2-0. And Marshfield comes up to the line on 3rd and 9. Snap goes to Dean. He's going to throw it out on the right side, and good defense as 3 Tigers were over there. Blake Fanning makes the stop. And the little quick pass did not work that time for Marshfield. They picked up a couple of yards. Going to bring up 4th and 6.
We got to keep in mind that the previous punt was a fake.
Right. They are in punt formation, and the Tigers are back. Looks like Kyle Powell is back deep.
See if they move into that spread formation that they did earlier. Where they try
and again, the quarterback is back there.
Where they try to spread out our defense.
And he is going to kick it away. A line drive kick. Not a very good kick. Across midfield and kind of squibs out of bounds around the 43-yard line of Republic. So he didn't get all of it. Kicked it sort of line drive sideways.
That was a shank, kind of like if I was out there hitting golf balls. That was a shank to the left there.
So the Tigers with good field position as they take over again.
That explains right there why they like to fake it.
Boy, last year the Tigers were behind a lot. And so when you've got this running offense that can run so much clock, and you're behind, that's not such a great thing. When you jump out to a lead like they have the last couple of games, it's kind of nice to have 4 or 5 running backs who can take it and pound it. They give it to Ellison. Comes near side, tries to break a tackle. He does across midfield. Slows up, and he's brought down around the 47-yard line. Number 21, Jackson Jones, was among the tacklers who made the stop on Tristan Ellison.
And once again, as we've said before, he makes the first guy miss.
Yep.
The first defender very rarely brings our guys down. It was kind of a stiff arm there, shoved him to the ground, and kept running.
And Ellison is so fast that if he gets free, there aren't very many guys who are going to catch him. Same with Journey Jones. Snap to Smith, hands it off to David File. File, a spin move at the 40-yard line, inside the 35, down to about the 32. David File that time kept his legs moving. And the Tigers move the chains again, and the clock continues to run. 4:16 left to go.
A little bit of natural talent and some coaching there of harping on, don't let that first defender take you down. Spin move, juke move, whatever it takes, keep going.
Up to the line come the Tigers again on 1st and 10 from the 33. Smith hands it off to Ellison. Same play. Cuts inside. Down to the 20-yard line. Inside. Ball comes free.
Dang it.
And jumping on it is Journey Jones, I think. Tigers may have jumped on it and recovered the ball. The ball came out, and it was recovered by Journey Jones of the Tigers. So a good break for Republic there.
Very good break. We all know when the football bounces around, it no telling where it's going to go, and that kind of bounced right back into his midsection there.
So Ellison had it and lost it as he was going down. I didn't even realize it was loose until Marshfield, a couple of players started jumping on it. And it ended up with the Tigers. They've got it 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line, knocking on the door again. Fake handoff. Smith keeps it, cuts it back, runs into 3 defenders, and is driven back at about the line of scrimmage. And then a late hit.
Yeah.
They throw him to the ground, and a flag is thrown, personal foul. And that was, I believe, number 23. Nope. I don't know what number it was. His jersey's sort of wrinkled in there, but he's being called off.
As he should, because the whistle had already blown.
That may have been Novakovic. Whistle was blown. He had Smith kind of around the neck and shoulders and threw him to the ground. And the whistle had been blown for a while.
And the ref is standing right there, too.
Nope, it was 29. Livingston is the one. So we call Livingston's name that time for the wrong reason.
Wait a second.
Now, I think what they're doing is I assume they're backing up. Well, I don't know. I thought they were going to back up and then mark off the penalty. I actually never saw the official signal the penalty, but I assumed it was going to be against Livingston. If that
a major malfunction there, the ref pointing the wrong way.
Well,
there we go. Now we got things situated.
Wes Beechler was going to come unglued on the far sideline if that was against Republic. But, yeah, so they marched it back because they wanted to march it off from where the penalty happened. Personal foul against Marshfield, and now the ball is down.
Well, Coach Beechler was not going to be the only one that was about to come unglued.
It's down inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line, we'll call it. Tigers have it 1st and goal. That was about as blatant a personal foul as you can get, and as you said, it happened right in front of the official. So here we go. Tigers trying to build on a 14-point lead. Jake Smith out of the shotgun, calls the signal, hands it off to Journey Jones, cuts inside between a couple of blockers, puts down his shoulder.
Touchdown.
Yep, touchdown Tigers. It was a late signal on this side of the field, but they say he got in as he lowered his shoulder at the end, and Journey Jones puts it in and makes the lead 34-14 Tigers.
He was determined. I mean, he hit our guys in the back. He was hitting Marshfield defenders. He was just kind of bouncing around in there and dove at the last second, and the ball just went over the line there.
And Mitchell Heinzler tries to make it 35. Oh. And a bad snap. Smith has to pick it up. He scrambles far side. He's going to throw it away. It's intercepted now, and that's going to end the play. Marshfield thought about running it back, even though you can't do that here.
Not in high school.
But they took a few steps like they might try it, looked around, and realized the official was not going to let them get away with it. So 3:14 left to go in the third quarter. The Tigers extend their lead to 34-14. Back with more after this.
Preston Family Dental will lead you down the path to a healthy smile. They offer general dentistry for all ages, plus tooth whitening, 6-month smile orthodontics, and more. That's Preston Family Dental online at PrestonDentalTeam.com. Don't let another scorching day pass without replacing the old air conditioner that's robbing you of your hard-earned money. Call Ruckman Heating and Cooling and replace it with a high-efficiency model. Get no-interest 3-year financing if you act before October 31st. That's Ruckman Heating and Cooling.
$20-point lead for Republic in the third quarter. 3:14 left to go in the third. The Tigers lead it 34-14, and Mitchell Heinzler will kick off to the Blue Jays. Great offensive performance by the Tigers. The only downside, the fumbles. They've fumbled 3 times. They've lost 2 of them.
That will be definitely something to emphasize when they watch film over the weekend.
Strong line drive kick into the end zone over Park's head, and Marshfield will take over on their own 20-yard line to start this one, and Heinzler has been in fine form tonight on the kickoffs.
Yes, the past 2 in the end zone. I said that takes the pressure off the kickoff team. Obviously you don't have to worry about anybody getting awesome field position or running one back on you and changing the momentum on their side.
Now Marshfield has been able to move the ball the last couple of drives. Scored a touchdown right before halftime and then drove down before they gave it up on downs. A couple of key penalties on that drive really hurt them. Handoff to Park, and he's wrapped up inside. Puckett was in there for the Tigers.
They've just had very little success just trying to run the ball right up the middle.
Puckett and Jester kind of teamed up for that tackle and drove him back.
Kind of surprised that Marshfield keeps going back to that same play, just trying to pound it up the middle.
Yeah, I said it was Park. I think it was Novakovic who took the ball on that handoff. And they fake it to Novakovic now, and a pass on the near side, almost intercepted, thrown behind the receiver. And on the coverage was Kyle Powell.
Yeah, Kyle Powell was just running stride for stride with him. That was a bad decision to try to throw it to that receiver with the defender that close to him.
So 3rd and 10 very quickly with 2:39 left to go in the third quarter. And Marshfield in danger of a 3-and-out. It's been a while since either team's had a 3-and-out. Both teams have moved the ball. At least I think it's been a while. Dean takes it, rolls to the far side, and the pass is almost caught and dropped by Livingston, I believe.
Well, punt team's coming on the field there. Hopefully we get the same type of kick as the previous one, that it just kind of shanks off to the left. Get some awesome field position here.
So 4th and 10 for Marshfield. Good stop by the Tiger defense. When I said there had not been a 3-and-out for a while, statistician Tim Barnes looked at me like I was extremely wrong. So it all runs together. They may have had a 3-and-out on their last possession. Is that right? Yeah, he's nodding. So 2 3-and-outs in a row for the Tiger defense. When it's a 3-and-out, it happens so fast that I don't remember it. Again, the snap is bounced back to the punter. It's kicked away, though. They get it away, and it takes a Tiger bounce in Marshfield territory, back inside the Marshfield 40, and down by the Blue Jays at about the 37-yard line.
And that right there's something else that showed that punting is not the best situation for Marshfield, because the ball hit the ground and was rolling backwards, and for the Marshfield, they want to hurry up and down the ball, right, so it doesn't, and they just kind of stood there and watched and was backing away.
It took a while for him to react.
Right, realizing, oh yeah, we need to touch the ball.
Tigers leading by 20, and this game may get out of hand if they can put it in the end zone here.
Good.
Under 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Jake Smith ready to take the snap. And I think there may have been movement on the offensive line before the snap happened. I hesitate to say anything because last week when I said it, I think I was a little bit of a jinx, but Shane Piles has been very good at center. Haven't had, not only have we not had any of the snaps over Jake Smith's head like there were last week, but he hasn't even really had to reach for any.
No, they have not been high at all. They've been consistently right where the quarterback wants it, right there about chest level.
And, of course, Mitch Piles was in here. I almost apologized to him in person for jinxing his son last week, but he was in here at halftime. Hopefully that doesn't happen this week, but he's looked very good, especially considering he hasn't played center in high school until this year. Handoff goes to Ellison. He cuts it inside, breaks a couple of tackles, and he's down near the 30-yard line, spins for a couple more.
And just like that, we make up for that penalty.
He's down near a first down, about the 27-yard line.
That's going to be close.
Yeah, they're going to say he's about a yard short. Call it to 28. 2nd and 1 for the Tigers. The clock runs. 2:04 left to go in the third. Familiar double tight end set for the Tigers. Blitz coming, and they hand it off to File, and he goes between a couple of defenders and is wrapped up. He's near the first down.
I think it's going to be just enough.
Yep, I think from where the official's standing, they're going to say you got to cross it.
Yep.
Needed a yard, got about a yard and a half. There was just enough room for him to squeeze through that little hole before he was hit and pushed back. 1st and 10 Republic.
And that doesn't surprise me. I mean, his feet won't stop. He's going to keep driving.
Tigers have it 1st and 10 on the 27. And they give the handoff to number 23, Zach Brandstetter. He comes near side and rumbles down near the 10-yard line.
Zach Brandstetter, sophomore.
5'8", 145. Brandstetter with his first carry of the night. And that's going to be a first down. 1st and goal for the Tigers on about the 7-yard line.
Fresh set of legs in there, definitely showed.
Tigers trying to build on a 20-point lead. They already lead at 34-14, under a minute to go in the third. Fake handoff. Smith rolls right, throws into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers! Caught by Garrett Gordon. And the Tigers extend their lead to 40-14.
That was not an easy pass.
That's a couple of times that he's hit Gordon threading the needle.
Right, Jake on the run. It's not always the best situation for a quarterback to be running at a good rate of speed and having to throw off balance, and he does it, and Garrett's sitting there between a couple of defenders.
So the Tigers now lead at 40-14, and looks like they're going to go ahead and go for 2 now. Try to make it 42-14. Hand it off to File. File stumbles and falls, and I think he's going to be down short of the end zone. 2-point conversion is no good. But with 50 seconds left to go in the third, the Tigers have extended their lead to 40-14. We'll be back with more after this.
Southern Sun Electric can save you money by doing your electrical work right the first time. With 40-plus years experience, let Southern Sun solve your electrical problems quickly and efficiently. Find them online at southernsunelectric.com. Vision Health Eye Center, outstanding eye care, exceptional eyewear. From glasses prescriptions and contact lens fittings to emergency eye care, we help your family see, feel, and look better than they ever have before. Yoakum Automotive has been a staple in Republic since 1986. They are a full-service repair facility with shuttle service if you need to get to work. Find them online at yoakumautomotive.com.
Back in Marshfield, Tigers leading 40-14, getting set to kick it off after scoring a touchdown on a pass from Jake Smith to Garrett Gordon, and they have turned a couple of bad punts from Marshfield, 21 yards and 17 yards, into easy scores for the Tigers, and another punt, or rather another kickoff into the end zone for Mitchell Heinzler. The backmen for Marshfield waiting to receive the ball, having a hard time judging it, and then kind of waiting to the last minute. They're not just letting it go into the end zone. They look like they're trying to catch it and misjudging it, and then it kind of goes either over their head or to their side. That time it was more of a line drive. That one was pretty deep in the end zone, though, by the time it landed. So Marshfield with the ball on their own 20. They hand it off to Novakovic, and he is hit and dropped around the line of scrimmage.
Defense is still flying around. You're starting to see late in the game now just maybe which team is a little bit more in shape at this point in the season.
Levi Cook and Bradley Wright were both over there for the Tigers.
Marshfield's starting to wear down a little bit. Our guys are still popping around, very energetic.
2 wide receivers to the right. 1 right wide receiver split out to the left for Marshfield. That's Wyatt Mitchell. Dean out of the shotgun. Hands it off to Park. Park is hit in the backfield by Puckett. Puckett pulls him down, and a couple of other Tigers come in to finish him off. Blake Fanning was in there, Zach Jester in there as well, but Puckett with the first hit. And that's going to bring up the end of the third quarter. So 1 quarter left to play here at Marshfield, and the Tigers in command. They lead it 40-14 over the Blue Jays. Back with more after this.
Hi, I'm Gabe Fleer, Cox Health Athletic Trainer for your Republic Tigers. Did you know that Cox Health leads the way in sports medicine for young athletes? Our Athletic Advantage program can improve your game, whatever your age, whatever your sport. And now treatment for injuries is faster than ever with our new sports medicine walk-in clinic open daily 3 to 5:30, located in the Bone and Joint Center on South National. Call 269-7788 or visit coxhealth.com. Go Tigers!
Whether you have a big hole in your roof or you're missing a single shingle, you know who to call in Republic. It's Mike Mansker and the team at Absolute Roofing. Give them a call at 869-0444 or go online to absoluteroofers.com. At Bears Sports Grill, they guarantee you will never leave hungry. 50 different burgers, 21 different wing sauces, and much more. When you're hungry for a burger before or after the game, or just any time, Bears is the place to go in Republic.
Start of the fourth quarter in Marshfield. Tigers lead it 40-14. Marshfield with a 3rd and 9 from their own 21-yard line. They run a quarterback keeper as Dean keeps it, takes it out to the 25, but he stopped short of the first down by the Tiger defense.
Number is 173-598.
A few Tigers in there on the hit for that one.
Well, Marshfield's punt team coming out. Hopefully, once again, we get a bad kick.
Jack Geisler was in there, seeing a little playing time tonight for the Tigers. And this spread punt formation. Snap is good. The kick is up. That's a pretty good punt.
Hey.
Long, way past anybody. It rolls down to the 30, to the 25, and down around the 23-yard line by Marshfield. So a good punt that time for the Blue Jays. And they force Republic back, and Republic will have to drive the ball if they want to score again. 11-10 left to go in the fourth quarter. We'll keep it right here. Tigers leading 40-14 over the Blue Jays.
This is the part of the game where a coach starts thinking about clock management now. Do you run some plays? Do you eat the clock up? You know, do you risk possibly going, 4 and out and giving the ball right back very quickly? Whatever the case, 11:40 left on the clock is definitely got to be on their mind.
Well, Central has scored against Willard, but that game 73-8 is the score.
Wow.
And the Tigers have it. With the start of a new drive, they hand it off, and another fumble as File is hit in the backfield, but I thought the Tigers jumped on it. Yeah, they did. The overly optimistic Jackson Jones from Marshfield was signaling that the Blue Jays had it, but the Tigers jumped on it, and so they retained possession. The File was just hit. I think that was one of those cases where the helmet's on the ball and it just flies free.
Right.
I believe that's 4 fumbles, though.
Yes, I think you're correct, and when you've got that many, that's going to be definitely something that the coaches will point out tomorrow on film.
Still a gain of 3 for the Tigers, brings up 2nd down and 7. Smith takes the snap, hands it off, going far side across the 30-yard line is Zach Brandstetter.
Good movement by the offensive line. The offensive line is still moving around pretty good.
Near the first down, 3rd and a short 1 coming up for the Tigers as they'll try to keep moving the chains and running the clock. 10:05 left to go in the game, and the Tigers lead the Blue Jays 40-14. Smith runs over to the sideline and then back with the play. Shane Piles up over the ball, ready to snap. Signal called by Smith, and a handoff goes to number 81, Devin Smith, who's into the game for the Tigers as well.
I don't think they got it. It's going to be close.
Yeah, they're going to say he didn't really gain much, may have even lost a yard.
So putting that marker almost on top of the first down marker.
Yeah, he didn't lose a yard. They're going to say he got back about to the line of scrimmage. Brings up a 4th down, and the Tigers are going to go for it, try and just keep that clock moving and keep the drive alive. I would not be surprised to see Jake Smith just keep it and run it up the middle here. Nope, he's going to go back and pooch it. Thought maybe the Tigers would just try to keep the ball and keep the drive alive, but instead Smith kicks it downfield. It goes out of bounds on the far sideline, and the official's going to march upfield. He's near the 30, and he's just going to march up. I think it was out of bounds, probably around the 40. We'll see where he stops. Still marching up. We're going to say it was the 38-yard line where the ball went out of bounds. So Marshfield will take over with 8:54 left in the game, trailing 40-14.
That's the situation as a coach you're afraid of. You know, you want to milk the clock, but if you don't get that first down,
right,
very quickly you've given the other team the ball back.
Well, the Tiger defense has been pretty good tonight. Once again, they've only given up 14 points. Had a couple of drives that maybe Marshfield shot themselves in the foot. Dean looking to throw, looking, throws it over the middle. It's almost picked off, tipped up in the air, and incomplete. And Zach Jester got a hand on it and couldn't haul it down. Blake Fanning comes over and gives him a hard time for not picking it off. The ball was tipped and then was up in the air for a while, but there were no Tigers nearby or Blue Jays to get it out of the air. So 2nd and 10 coming up, 8:48 left to go in the game.
I've got Zach in class, so I'll razz him a little bit on Tuesday about that.
Yeah, you do that. Maybe have a little jar of Stickum on his desk when he comes in. And a whistle and maybe a timeout called by Marshfield. So the Blue Jays want to talk things over with 8:48 left to go in the game, trailing 40-14. And we're going to take a break. We'll be back with more after this.
Travel agent Carla Stotts at Destinations to Explore can make your dreams come true through the world of travel. She has expertise for all travel, so let her book your next family vacation. Call her at 848-8369 or click the link to her Facebook page on my website and browse while you're listening for more information. Hetty Barbecue Company is home to great barbecue, including the famous Pig Nasty Sandwich. Go in and check them out. Remember that kids eat free now on Monday and Tuesday evening from 5 to 8 p.m. That's Hetty Barbecue Company in Republic. Any day is a great day to send flowers. Heaven Sent Flowers and Gifts has been your local florist in Republic since 1987, offering free local delivery. Call them at 732-1334 or go online to heavensentflowers.com.
We return to action on 2nd and 10 for Marshfield. A little bit of a broken play. And the Tigers stopped them at around the line of scrimmage. I'm going to say it was maybe a gain of 1 there as Dean tried to make something out of nothing and brings up 3rd down and 9. Back in the shotgun is Dean. Takes the snap. Drops back to pass, looks to throw, throws it long downfield down the right side, overthrows everybody. Incomplete, brings up 4th down for Marshfield with 8:08 left to go in the game.
Of course, Marshfield's probably happy that was incomplete or thrown over everybody's head because that receiver had 3 Republic defenders all around him, so more than likely it was going to be one of our guys who catches that ball.
Of course, every game we select a Yoakum Automotive drive of the game. You can drive into Yoakum Automotive and drive out with peace of mind. And we've talked about it so far. I like an early drive as we think about maybe a momentum shift for the Tigers. I don't know what you're thinking as far as the drive of the game, Rich, but I like one of those early drives for the Tigers.
Yeah, the early drive, of course, gets the jitters out. You put some points up early.
Punt is away, and a fair catch called by the Tigers back there. That was Kyle Powell, who takes it at around the 30-yard line. Yeah, the first drive I thought was important because after the Tigers had turned it over and given a short field to Marshfield, and Marshfield had taken an 8-0 lead, the Tigers answered there and maybe got some of the momentum back.
Right, and it was, looking at the stats here, it was 70 yards on only 9 plays. So, each play was a big chunk.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's probably what I would choose too, is that 70-yard 9-play drive right after the Marshfield score. Tigers came back and made it 8-7, and then ended up coming back and taking the lead. So that is probably going to be our Yoakum Automotive drive of the game, I would think. 8:06 left to go. The Tigers have it, and they hand it off in the backfield, and hit in the backfield and stopped is Brandstetter. He was coming from the near side, went around and took the handoff and was wrapped up before he could do much. It's going to be a loss of maybe 6 yards.
Yeah, when a D lineman is able to get through that quickly, someone has missed their block.
So that's going to bring up second down at 16. Of course, the clock's still running. Down under 8 minutes left to go. 7.5 minutes left. Tigers going to move to 2-0 to start the 2014 season. And the handoff back there goes to David File, and in at quarterback is Devin Ward. So the Tigers have some other players in there. We're going to try and get numbers for you as we go through and let you know who's in there. Brandon Miller is checking out, and checking in for the Tigers, several newcomers. Shane Piles still at center. Ward in there, quarterback, and they give it inside. It's going to be maybe a gain of a couple. Brandstetter took the handoff, ran into the pile. And that's going to bring up fourth down and long for Republic. So the punt team's going to come out. Joey Jamison was in there for the Tigers as well on that, on the offensive line. And a short snap, but the kick is up and away. Kick made by Josh Perkins, and it rolls down near the Marshfield 40, across the 40 to about the 38, where it's down there by Kyle Powell. So Marshfield will take over with 5:51 left in the game, trailing 40-14. Let's take a look at some other scores. Kickapoo at the end of 3 leads Rolla 57-21. Monette 51-0 over East Newton. And we already mentioned the score, Willard and Central. Willard really manhandling the Bulldogs. 73-8 is the score in that one.
Wow.
Another lopsided score, Liberty, Mountain View 70, Catholic 7.
That's Coach Hancock down at the helm of Springfield Catholic there, and first 2 games for him have not gone so well.
Speaking of Coach Hancock, Bolivar loses to Branson 38-14. So Branson knocks off the Liberators, and the Liberators are now 0-2.
Wow, and that's kind of hard to imagine. To say that the Bolivar Liberators are starting the season off 0-2.
Of course, Bolivar gave Ozark a good game last week, and that came down to the wire, and Ozark ended up winning it. But 38-14, that, that says good things about Branson. They
Yes.
had a lot easier time with Bolivar. And, of course, you know all about Branson from your old stomping grounds, your playing days. Long pass down the far side, overthrown as Dean went for the home run ball. Intended over there for number 12, Wyatt Mitchell, and he just couldn't catch up to it.
Yes, seeing interviews and stories in the news leader, it's very odd for me to see a different coach's name next to the Branson Pirates when Coach Hancock has been there for 28 years.
Yeah, it's been a change, but Branson with a big win tonight over Bolivar. So that'll be a good game. Republic goes to Branson, I think, in week 5, if I'm not mistaken. They are at home next week against Ozark. Handoff goes to Novakovic, and he is hit and dragged down over there by the Tigers. Puckett is over there. So is Fanning, I believe. And Caden Watson was in there on the stop as well for the Tigers.
Third down for the Blue Jays.
The game at Branson is September 19th, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be week 5. A couple of home games coming up against Ozark next week, and then against Webb City. Against the Webb City team that was beating Rockhurst at last watch. So thoughts of Webb City maybe being down, maybe premature. Puckett almost with a sack, but getting away as Dean. A little throwback pass, but the Tigers are there to meet it and defend it. And 3 Tigers in on the stop.
That, even though that was for a catch, that was a very unadvised throw.
Yeah.
He was running for his life and literally turned around and threw it almost against the grain backwards into a bunch of Tiger defenders.
Jack Hayes and Justice Daniel were 2 of the Tigers there.
We got holding on Marshfield.
So they'll march it back. Nick Day in there for the Tigers. And Republic's going to decline it because that's 4th down. So they're going to force Marshfield to probably punt, although Marshfield may not bother at this point. We'll see. 4:39 and still running is the clock. They're in punt formation. It does look like they're going to kick it away. Little line drive kick and comes over near side and squibs out of bounds at about the 36-yard line of the Tigers. So the Tigers will take over with 4:22 left to go, leading 40-14. The crowd was not real big here to start with. It has thinned out even more, but there are some diehards still hanging out in front of us.
Of course, if you look right across, the away bleachers are just packed. It's nothing but orange over there.
And they have stuck around, obviously. I can say, looking down on the Marshfield crowd, there are very few people under the age of 25 who are not looking at their smartphone or tablet right now. There are a lot of movies playing in the stands on the Marshfield side to entertain young children.
Yes, I see some Frozen and some Candy Crush and some other things.
And the ball is loose in the backfield. I think Marshfield's going to take over on the fumble. The give was to Brandstetter, and in the exchange, the ball was lost, and Marshfield jumped on it.
That may be a little bit of inexperience there when you start getting in some of the younger players that don't get a lot of playing time, obviously.
And so Marshfield gets it back. 4:18 left to go. Blue Jays trying to cut into this lead, at least make the final margin a little more palatable. Man goes in motion. Dean takes the ball, fakes the handoff, launches it up down into the corner, and can't hit his man.
There's a flag down there. I'm not.
Maybe a little hold on the
maybe
defense.
Some hold.
Intended for Wyatt Finley. Finley did look like he had stopped, and I was wondering why, but maybe it was because he was held as he was trying to get free. Here comes the referee to tell us what happened.
Yep, defensive holding.
So that'll bring up another first down play for the Blue Jays as they march it off. They take it down to the 29-yard line.
This could be some, once again, youngster inexperience, not getting a lot of game situation and speed.
Dean puts the man in motion, takes the snap, hands off, and coming near side, being wrapped up, is number 16, Ryan Rust, who's in there for the Blue Jays. Nick Day was in there for the Tigers to make the stop. Brings up second down and 9. 3:46 left to go in the game. The Tigers have this well in control, just trying to run out the clock. 9:36 p.m. This game's going to be over sooner than the last one was. That one took a long time, but actually now that I think about it, that one started a half hour later. So this may end up being a longer game than the last one,
right?
Which felt long to me.
Yes.
Ball comes near side. Tiger defense gets the stop. Marshfield has it down to about the 20-yard line, maybe the 21. It's going to bring up third down and about 7, maybe 8.
Even though the score is lopsided, you still want to have that pride of not giving up that, late touchdown in the game.
Right. 2:56, under 3 minutes left to go. Handoff goes to Park. He cuts it inside, and he's hit and dropped by David File. But gets it out near a first down. It's going to bring fourth down and short. Less than a yard to go for the first down for the Blue Jays. Right around the 20-yard line. They're just inside the 20. They need to get almost to the 19. Jordan Dean takes a high snap, tucks it in. He's going to take it inside the 20. I think he's going to pick up first down.
Jordan Dean with the carry.
Takes it down to about the 18-yard line, and the clock will continue. Now they're going to move it because that's a first down. Move the chains. So 2:10, the clock is stopped. Checking into the game for the Tigers is Jared Jensen. And checking out is Skylar Hale. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Marshfield. Dean takes the snap, fakes the handoff, quick throw on a little slant pass. The ball is tipped, almost intercepted. Pass was intended. Trying to get a number. The pass was intended for number 12, Wyatt Mitchell. He was hit as he went to catch it, and the ball kind of popped up in the air, and there were a couple of Tigers around.
It's kind of a free-for-all there as it was kind of bouncing in the air. At any rate, though, it stops the clock.
1:52 left. 2nd and 10 coming up for Marshfield. Handoff goes to Park. He cuts it inside, has an opening down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. Good work by the offensive line there for Marshfield to open up the hole for Park.
Jack Hayes with the tackle for the Tigers.
Hayes was in there to make the stop for Republic. Handoff again, and down inside the 5 to about the 2-yard line. That is Park again.
Like
Brandon Miller was in on the stop for the Tigers.
Just enough for the first down.
So first down and goal. 1:26 left to go, and Marshfield trying to add to their 14 points. Still trailing 40-14. And they hand it off to Park. He goes right side, through a hole, and into the end zone for a touchdown. So the Blue Jays score again with 1:06 left to go. And that makes the lead 40-20. They will presumably go for 2 points here. And that would cut the lead down to 42-22, 20-point lead.
Well, looking forward to next week, me personally, I'm looking forward to playing Ozark.
I think that'll be a good game. They're going to pass and the 2-point conversion. The pass is incomplete, intended for Mitchell, and it falls short. So the Tigers get the stop on the 2-point conversion, and they lead it 40-20. Yeah, Ozark had a chance full with Bolivar. And, of course, it was the Jamboree, but Republic saw Bolivar and offensively ran all over Bolivar. And you don't know who Bolivar had in there or anything like that. But certainly this is a different Republic team than we've seen the last 4 or 5 years as far as the skill positions, the speed in the backfield, the number of different ways that they can beat you, and the big play capability. I think a lot more speed than the Tigers have had in recent years, the Republic Tigers. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next week. And, of course, that game is at Republic. I want to mention, too, that if you're listening, come out between 4 and 6 p.m. to the Bank of Missouri at Elm and Highway 60. There's going to be a tailgate party going on there from 4 to 6. They'll have hot dogs, refreshments, and be giving away some prizes. And they're also going to be taking donations for the food for Care to Learn, because all next week there's going to be a battle of the Tigers between the Care to Learn chapter in Ozark and the Care to Learn chapter in Republic to see whether Ozark or Republic can raise more money for that great organization. So come out between 4 and 6 next Friday and have yourself a hot dog, maybe make a little donation for the free. The food's free, and they're taking donations. And get ready for the big game against Ozark at 7 o'clock kickoff. Speaking of kickoff, the Tigers take the kickoff. It's David File who has it out across the 35-yard line before he's finally wrapped up and knocked down.
I like that little competition, especially against Ozark.
So we
little competition off the field.
Got to get the word out, and I'm going to be working on that early next week because I can't fathom losing that one.
And if you don't know anything about the Care to Learn, it is a great organization that several school districts in Southwest Missouri partake in. It does nothing but great things that support students in the school district.
And the idea is health and hygiene, those kinds of products, coats or toothpaste, toothbrushes, things like that students can't necessarily concentrate and learn as well if they don't have those needs met at home, and Care to Learn helps them take care of that. That's been a big help in the Republic School District, and Bank of Missouri is helping out with that and then holding kind of the tailgate, which is the culmination of next week. You can also make donations to Care to Learn at Bank of Missouri all through the week. Just stop by the Republic branch and make your donation. Tigers kneeling on the ball, victory formation, and they are going to have to do it here again. They've done it once, down to 25 seconds as the clock ticks away, and I think this is going to be the last one. Kneel on the ball, the clock is going to run, and that's going to do it. The Tigers are going to get a road victory and move to 2-0 on the season. Final score is 40-20, Republic over Marshfield. We will be back to talk things over and wrap things up after this break.
Final score, Republic Tigers 40, your men in blue 20.
Did you know Hines Street Pharmacy will deliver your prescriptions right to your door? Or that they can often save you money compared to what you're paying at big box pharmacies? Both those things are true and more. Go to Hines Street Pharmacy and experience the hometown difference. Charisma Salon, haircuts, hair color, manicures, and more. A great salon, great stylists. At 484 U.S. Highway 60 East, just west of Elm Street. Call for an appointment today at 689-9173. No matter what you drive, next time you have a fender bender, call Kirk's Collision Center. Kyle and his team are the people to fix you up in Republic. Find them online at kirkscollisioncenter.com. Kirk's Collision Center. If you can wreck it, they can fix it.
Back in Marshfield, where the Tigers have won it 40-20 over the Blue Jays. They moved to 2-0 on the season. And the Yoakum Automotive drive of the game, we've talked it over. And, Rich, what did we decide?
Well, after the first drive, the fumble, Marshfield gets the ball, and they go up 8-0. We decided to pick the second possession for Republic, which ended up in a 9-play, 70-yard drive that allowed us to score and bring it within one.
I thought that was an important drive to kind of set the tone after Marshfield had come out and taken over, and with the short field had punched it in. You know, there's an opportunity there for them to kind of seize momentum in a game that maybe they're not expected to win, but Republic answered, and I thought that was important for them to do there.
Yeah, we answered and pretty much never really looked back. That was the only time that we were trailing in the game, was right off the bat there. So, changed momentum, got things going, had some success.
Again, both sides of the ball, I thought, played really well. There was a stretch there. There were 4 drives in a row in the first half. After that initial drive that the Tigers came out and scored, it was, as I said, 8-0 that Marshfield had scored, and then you've got that drive we just talked about, the Yoakum Automotive drive of the game, where the Tigers come back, make it 8-7. On the very next drive, 6 plays, 88 yards, 2:25. They marched down the field to make it 14-8. Take it again. The next drive, it took them only a minute 52 seconds. They went 7 plays, 28 yards. That made it 21-8. And then after a Marshfield score to make it 28-14 right before half, there was a little over 6 seconds left on the clock, and the Tigers, a lot of teams might just say, well, let's kneel on it, going to halftime. We're still up by a touchdown. The Tigers didn't do that. They ran a play. Marshfield had 12 men on the field, so that gave the Tigers a second chance, and that ended up being our Hetty Barbecue pigskin play of the game, because on the very next play, with no time left on the clock, kind of a bonus play to end the half, it was Jake Smith throwing downfield to Journey Jones, and Jones makes the reception in the end zone, and a 6.2-second drive, 65 yards in 2 plays, and that's the Hetty Barbecue pigskin play of the game, is that touchdown pass to end the half, because that really, I thought, didn't put the nail in the coffin, but it certainly got the nail ready to be driven into the coffin as the Tigers extended that lead back to 2 touchdowns. I thought that was an important part of it.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, Marshfield doesn't get the opportunity to go in at halftime feeling good about themselves. All of a sudden, we score that touchdown, and we're the ones jumping and cheering going into the locker room at halftime instead of them.
40-20 is the final score. We'll have some stats and maybe a final word when we come back after this.
Run a half marathon.
Stop smoking.
Feel young again.
Whether you're dealing with an ongoing health challenge or simply want to feel your best, Cox Health is on your side. We offer classes to help you manage diabetes, fibromyalgia, chronic pain, whatever you need, we have resources to help.
I rode 180 miles.
I lost 180 pounds.
Because I can.
And you can too. Call Cox Health at 269-4847.
State Farm Insurance is there anytime, anywhere you need it, with helpful advice and award-winning service. In Republic, call Chris Yoakum at 732-1463 or go online at chrisyoakum.com and get to a better state. Matsuti brings you the Home Team Report, a schedule of every Tiger home game in every sport in Republic Tiger Sports Magazine. And now you can add him to your home team when you have questions about your mortgage. Find him online at gocsuti.com. Mid-Missouri Bank is home to a no-wait debit card. Walk in, open a checking account, and walk out with your new card at Mid-Missouri Bank at the corner of Hines and Highway 60 in Republic. Preston Family Dental will lead you down the path to a healthy smile. They offer general dentistry for all ages, plus tooth whitening, 6-month smile orthodontics, and more. That's Preston Family Dental online at PrestonDentalTeam.com. Don't let another scorching day pass without replacing the old air conditioner that's robbing you of your hard-earned money. Call Ruckman Heating and Cooling and replace it with a high-efficiency model. Get no-interest 3-year financing if you act before October 31st. That's Ruckman Heating and Cooling.
The drum section of the Marshfield Marching Band is serenading us as they march down the track and off the field. Rough night for the Blue Jays. Good night for the Tigers. A 40-20 victory. And the game really wasn't that close. That late touchdown made it look even closer than it was. We talked about the offense and how well they looked. There was a series there, or a series of series in the second half where the Tigers' defense forced 3 and outs 4 times in a row. So the Tiger defense played pretty well also. It was, with some subs in there, they gave up that late touchdown. But I thought defensively, Tigers played at least as well as they did last week.
Yes, and on the offense, some of the things that we saw last week that we said maybe they need to work on, you could tell that they fixed it. Now there's maybe some little things, here and there that they need to tweak. Obviously one of them being the, maybe 2 hands on the ball instead of 1. On the, I believe, 4 fumbles, and some of them we gave to Marshfield. Some of them we were lucky enough to get back. But that definitely be a point of emphasis of the next few days.
So you talk about balance on offense. The Tigers had 306 yards rushing, no one over 100 yards. Jake Smith ended up being the leader. He had 99 rushing yards, so just short of 100. But
sharing the joy.
Yeah, it was 99 rushing yards for Jake Smith, 77 rushing yards on 9 carries for Tristan Ellison, and he had 3 touchdowns. So Jake Smith had a great game. Tristan Ellison had a great game. Maybe Tristan Ellison is the player of the game for the Tigers on offense. Both those guys had great games. David File, 12 carries, 67 yards. He got a lot more action tonight than he did in week 1. Journey Jones, 8 carries for 50 yards. So they had 4 guys with 50 yards rushing or more, but nobody over 100. And really a great offensive performance. 41 carries, 306 yards for the Tigers. They had 83 passing yards. Jake Smith was 4 of 7 for 83 yards and 2 touchdowns. And how about Gary Gordon? 3 catches, 52 yards, one of them for a touchdown. And then, of course, Journey Jones with the 1 catch right before halftime that we talked about. 31-yard catch for a touchdown as well. So 4 receptions for 83 passing yards for the Tigers and 306 yards on the ground for the Tigers as well. That's going to what am I going to say? I don't know. That's going to do it from Marshfield. Final score is 40-20. The Tigers with the win. And again, back next week at home against Ozark, a big game. Be listening at Republic Tiger Sports for the Ruckman Heating and Cooling pregame. That starts at 6:45. Rich Miles, will you be there with me again?
Yes, I will. Won't miss it.
Tim Barnes will be there as well, keeping stats, and we will have more on the website later tonight, as we will have photos, video, and a game summary at RepublicTigerSports.com. Once again, the final, Republic 40, Marshfield 20. Thanks for listening to Republic Tiger Sports.